Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is camp versus campmate warfare in the main event. ESFL presents Undisputed Exhibition Card number 2, our second one of this Undisputed launch weekend. We welcome you guys to the Esports Fight League. I am your host and commentator for today's broadcast, Kingsley, and alongside me, we haven't worked in a while, but we're working this time. Proton, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, Kingsley. I'm excited for this night of fights. Got a lot of nice names competing tonight, and a few players I think could definitely make a run for their titles in their respective divisions.
Absolutely. This exhibition card is going to be monumental. As we said before in the start of this broadcast, it is EK versus EK in the main event. I'm going to read out the main event card that we have for you guys. So it's EK Warrior going against EK Mixups. And then in the co-main event, it's going to be KYoungButta, who had such an impressive performance in the last exhibition card, which you guys should definitely check out on YouTube and on Twitch, going against BoneDoinWork in the co-main, which is sure to be an absolute barn burner. We saw it from the first exhibition card. And then going down the line, it is Game Over versus MBK Megatoni in the Coco main event, which is always the special spot you always want to be. Then it's Game Over. It's NM Burn going against Samurai Robin, then going against Flossy Sports TV versus Highly Favor in the other part, and then going down and down. It just gets even better. Lepo versus On The Go versus Style versus AKMG, Donnie versus Monso, and then Attic85, Hey It's Fran, and Jeezer, as Cronin helped me out earlier in the backstage, going against Enzo. So when we take a look at this whole card, as I just spoke out, what are you expecting? Because in the first exhibition card, we saw a lot of heavyweights. We saw a lot of Sugar Ray Robinsons, Sugar Ray Leonards. What are you expecting in this exhibition card for today's broadcast?
Yeah, I'm expecting a greater variety in the fight picks, especially depending on who wins the coin flips to choose the weight divisions. For instance, third fight, we'll have to see how the order shakes out, but Donnie versus Monso. Donnie is a fearsome lightweight player. He goes with an unconventional pick with Adam Hamid. Only one of the lowest rated character, second lowest rated character in that weight class, but he makes great work of him. So we'll have to see who wins that coin flip. Great variety of fighters to be chosen in this game. I think in terms of the roster, bigger than any boxing game that has come before it. So hopefully we get to see some of those less common picks.
Yeah, I mean, it's fresh, it's new. We had early access, but now it's the launch weekend, so anything is possible, but we're gonna have to see how that goes out, especially for that third fight that we have on this exhibition card. But let's get to our first fight here, Cronon. We have Attic85 going against Hey It's Fran in our first contest, and already in the welterweight division. And what a matchup that we have. Attic85 hovering around the Terrence Crawford pick, while Canelo Alvarez is going for Fran. How do you like this matchup playing out?
Oh, this is definitely a highly contested matchup here, because I haven't seen Addict85 play, though I have sparred myself with Hey It's Fran several times. So I'm expecting a high action affair. Fran, one thing about him that's more unique compared to other players, he's always dangerous even when he's dazed. You got to watch out for power coming back your way. So that's something Addict85 will definitely have to watch out for.
Yeah, and with the Canelo Alvarez, I mean, there's a limited amount of range that you can use. You can fight outside, you can fight inside. Those power punches to the body will do so much damage. And also on Twitch, you could get your predictions in, because we're doing predictions for this fight and many of the other fights that we have on this exhibition card. But be sure to get everything, show your support to all these fighters and the ESFL in general. But I am super excited to get things going. And again, this is gonna be a 10-round fight. It's not like the UFC 5 where you get 3 rounds or 5 rounds. You have to use a war of attrition in the style of boxing. What are you expecting in the mindset, especially when guys are going to the spotlight for the first fight of this exhibition card?
There's going to be a lot of pressure to put on a show and set the card off right. A lot of nerves when you're going live, but it does help that this is an exhibition bout, like you said, rather than a League One, which may permanently stain their record. So hopefully get both guys looking out to put on a great show. Like you said, with the picks, Canelo versus Terrence Bud Crawford. Top picks in the division, and immediately Attic with a nice counter jab right there.
Yeah, and let's set the stage for you guys. This is our second exhibition card for the Undisputed launch week. For the ESFL, we have Attic85 using the Terrence Crawford on the right side, and Hey It's Fran is using those body shots with Canelo Alvarez. Already started out with a nice shot. What you want to do with Canelo Alvarez? You want to attack the body and open up the head a little bit as much as you can.
Definitely, Canelo has some traits as well. Working the liver, he gets bonus damage to his lead side liver hooks. Ooh, nice return combo there by Attic. But we see immediately Fran is controlling the center of the ring while Attic is dancing around, kind of trying to make it an outboxing affair.
Yeah, and we talked about Canelo Alvarez and the power that he has, but the defensive ability of Terrence Crawford makes it an intriguing matchup. And at 85, just circling around a little bit more compared to his opponent, but gets a nice counter punch, and that is what he's going to need to do, but needs to avoid the trades. And you see both guys just pulling away. They want to use all their defensive abilities to just avoid that destructive counter punch, because right now Terrence Crawford with 4 shots in a row with the combinations at 85 is putting on a good rhythm so far.
Definitely, it looks like so far he's leading the dance, but still 9 more rounds after this. Both guys trying to hunt the counters, which definitely can be devastating and freeze you up in the moment.
Oh, and just look at the combinations as both guys are swinging in the phone booth. But it's also a delicate balance, right? With the stamina and all the punches you want to do, you don't want to overly commit when you see some success. You always want to pace it out, but it seems like we're going through a different pace with 17 seconds left to go in this first round.
It's frantic so far. Ooh, and speaking of Fran, nice lead hook that he landed there. And he does seem to be doing a bit more of the body work compared to Addict's Crawford, which makes sense given the fighters, but we'll have to see how that plays out. Oh, nice 2-piece right there to end out. How it plays out with their cardio heading through the rest of the fight.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. We saw that Fran, he was a little bit on the back foot. As you said, Attic 85 was leading the dance. He's used to being in the ESFL, being an undisputed tournament last year, and going in the second round, what will be the adaptability? Will we see Fran try to go for a power shot but not able to connect? It's just the range of Attic 85. It seems like he's going with a true boxing ability, just using those jabs very nicely.
It definitely looks like he's throwing 2 to 3 jabs compared to any other punch, making sure to set up the rest of his combinations, just baiting Fran as he tried to throw power straight right there and missed, just peppering away as we just go 30 seconds into the second round.
Yeah, and you can see with Attic 85, the game plan is clear. Make that guy miss, make him commit to 1 shot, and then hit him with 3 times more, as we're already like over 2 minutes into the contest. Ooh. And already Attic 85 is addicted to bringing his opponent down as he gets the first knockdown of the fight.
And that came quick. He was dazed, and in an instant later, the body work dropped Fran. Now he has to get back up, and he does get up at 7 count, which is interesting. You know, the first get up is going to be the easiest, going to be getting progressively harder throughout the fight. So I have to keep an eye on his skills at returning to his feet.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point that you made out, Crodon, because we usually saw that the average is around the 5 count. If you go like to the 6 or 7, you kind of have a little pause for concern about the minigame. But for Fran, he doesn't need to worry about the minigame. He needs to worry about all the combinations and over-committing to his shots, because every time he goes offensive, it seems like he's staying still and getting pieced up with these counter shots. And Attic is just put on a clinic right now.
Yeah, and if you notice the control of the big misses right there. With the control of the ring, Fran is Canelo somewhat planted in the center of the ring, trying to evade, but that lets Attic dictate where the fight, its engagements take place, you know, bouncing in and out. And as we see, nice 3-piece that landed right there, finished up with a nice lead body hook.
Yeah, you saw him circle around, and those double jabs were just able to miss, and Attic was able to capitalize as much as he wanted, but he needs to watch out, because you don't want to give momentum to Fran, especially in those last couple seconds, because now he's gonna have that download. It's like, okay, if I'm missing here, maybe I can hit you here, and he got a little bit of success at that end part.
Yeah, definitely still early in the fight time, and there's time for Fran to mount a comeback. The fight has not slipped away, definitely not at all, and especially when you're using Saul Canelo Alvarez with the bombs that he carries in both of his hands.
Oh my god, it's just clean so far from Attic 85. You saw him going more to the body than Fran is, especially with the Canelo Alvarez pick. It just seems like he is biding his time. He is making sure he has his opponent go towards him, pull away, and then just attack the body when he can. Yeah,
it's really great. He's able to counter when he wants. Nice counter jab right there. And the thing with the stuns that you see, it freezes you for a moment, frees you up for another punch that you can't even block most of the time. And you know that Terrence Bud Crawford does have the punches in bunches perk. So whenever he's throwing more than a 2-piece, he gets a boosted damage. Oh, vicious body attack.
Just build that whole sequence up. You saw him just duck away, gets the power straight, and then ends with a body shot at the end of it. I think it was 4 hits. But going to 3 rounds so far, Fran needs to come up with a different strategy, because right now he might be down in every single judge's scorecard when we get to the 4th round.
Yeah, agreed. I'm expecting 3-0 in Crawford's favor. You know, Attic just pounding away. It seems almost every punch he throws gets through Fran's defenses at the moment.
Yeah, and what would you do if you're Fran, right? Like, you have the power in the hands, but as soon as he commits to 1 shot, do you need to follow up? Like, do you want to go more combinations, or like, what's the strategy? Do you want to become more of an outside fighter if you're Fran?
I think he needs to put a bit more, volume out there, and especially the main thing, he has to keep his feet moving. He's staying a little too stagnant in the center of the ring, which lets Attic just pick him apart. But keep moving forward. You're playing Canelo against Bud.
Oh my goodness! Oh my God! That was 8 hits in a row, handing to the body. Attic had everything he wanted. Every time Fran was trying to guess where he needed a block, he answered wrong every single time. And now the referee is up to an 8 count, but he's able to get up. The 2nd knockdown for Attic 85.
It was a beautiful overhand landed by Attic there that started that knockdown sequence right there, then the body work immediately after to finish off that dazed meter to deplete it. And as we see on the card, it's up 30-25, won all 3 rounds, and of course had a knockdown in each round, round 2 and 3 rather.
Yeah, but we saw Fran, even though he's down, he still got some good damage against Attic, but Attic just answers back with so many punches. He is answering wrong, he is answering the bell, but now he needs to be very careful, because again, Canelo Alvarez still has power in those hands, and as long as he's still in fight, he is still oh so dangerous. So Fran has a chance, but Attic 85, man, put on the clip, but now we have some answers back. But Attic 85 coming in close. He wants to attack the body. Canelo on the ropes. Fran needs to find a way to evade, because it's under 2 minutes and we're still in the 4th round. Attic is just putting on an absolute masterclass.
Is digging to the body whenever he has Fran hurt, making him very second guess himself as to where to block. But nice 2-piece right there that landed for Fran. And if he gets a daze of his own, the momentum could start to shift. But man, so far Attic is putting on a masterclass.
Yeah, but here's also the other thing. Attic just feels like he has the confidence, like he believes in his shots. And we see a little hesitation for Fran, because he goes for 2 shots, and if he misses, he knows that he's in the world of trouble. So do you think the mental game is also playing to his stick skills in this type of contest?
It definitely could. The pressures of being live, as mentioned before, and with the shift in confidence, Attic at the beginning, he's being more cautious, picking his shots, but now putting the pedal to the metal, pressing forward himself, being a lot more aggressive. He smells blood in the water and digging to the body once again.
You don't want to become the movie like Jaws, because right now that shark is circling around. He is going closer and closer. And surprisingly, we don't have a cut on Canelo, but Terrence Crawford gets the perfect precision punch, powering down his opponent with so many strikes. But Fran will survive near the ropes in round 5. This probably, I don't want to say it's do or die, but he can't take any more shots like that.
Yeah, I'm surprised he managed to stay on his feet there. Did get saved by the bell, but even before that, 8 of nice power shot while he was wobbling around. But new round, a new start for Fran, and immediately getting off a nice counter rear hook, jabbing away. And I do like this increased output, but Attic just countering well.
But also another thing, the longer this goes, it kind of favors Fran, right? Because with Terrence Crawford, he's using a lot of punches, but if he can't bring him down again, then it leaves an open window for Fran. But Attic, every time, that distance has been money for him. With the uppercuts, with the hooks, everything is landing towards the body, and he's just answering every single shot that Fran is throwing out.
Yeah, like you said, the Attic has to watch his stamina. He's throwing everything but the kitchen sink, but it won't matter if he gets Fran out of there early. But we have to see. That's a big test of Fran's survival skills if he's able to use his cardio to his advantage later on. But he's also getting hit to his body a lot, so even though he's not being able to throw as much, his energy is being sapped. Yeah,
and you can see Attic 85 is probably like a close cousin to the no Sam game, but we see Fran with a vicious strike to the head, and the swelling on the left side of Attic 85. Terrence Crawford has been hurt. Oh my God, Fran, He has 108 left. Oh, but a counter shot to it. The straight from Man 85 will change everything up. These guys are slugging back and forth. Under 1 minute to go in the fifth. Oh, but a straight shot to the head, to the body. Can he survive? I don't know if he can. You know that Fran will love to strike when he says he's still dangerous, as Crow says, but man, what a tough outing to stay in the fight.
It was beautifully set up by the defensive maneuver of Attic, leaning backwards and dodging Fran's power straight to return with one of his own. And I'm surprised he managed to stay on his feet again there, but nice defense. And immediately another power straight fired there by Attic.
How are we possibly going to a 6th round? That is probably what Attic 85 is saying. I have heard of this guy so many damn times. I'm still heard him even after the bell, but there's still a concern. Left swelling and right swelling are still like up in the bar a little bit for Attic 85, so he needs to be very, very careful going to 6th round.
Yeah, and there's always the chance of a flash KO, especially that liver shot by Canelo. Has those trades, like I mentioned, which boost his damage. The fight could end in an instant. He has to stay on guard, but
God,
definitely in control.
He's definitely in control, but can he not lose control when he sees his opponent hurt? We know that Fran is gonna fight like hell, but you can't fight like hell when your body doesn't want to comply. The third knockdown for Attic 85. Will this seal the deal? We're at count 5, halfway mark. He is getting closer and closer, but he gets up at the 7 count. Fran is still in this thing.
And that's a lot of heart on his part. We saw he was struggling with the second knockdown, may have gotten up at the 8 count, did even better this time around. But especially the 4th and 5th time you're knocked and you got to get back to your feet, it gets very difficult, with the difficulty scaling up. But we'll have to see how the rest of this 6th round plays. 1.5 minutes left to go.
Yeah, and now with Terrence Crawford, he can't keep up the same pace, right? Because that stamina is getting lower and lower. We know that Terrence Crawford doesn't really have the biggest stamina gain in this whole Undisputed game, but for Fran, do you look at that saying like, okay, you can hit me as many times as you want, I'm still keeping up, so I still have a chance in this fight with 1 minute to go?
There's definitely a reason for optimism, especially with the vulnerability that happens when you're caught getting hit while your stamina tank is empty. You get a lot more damage, increased chance of being flashed, knocked down, or even KO'd. So Fran is still in this. Wouldn't write him off yet, but it's not looking so good so far.
Yeah, he still needs to survive. He still needs to fight that perfect punch, but Attic 85 once again does it. And again, Fran goes down. There's no possible way. That's the 4th knockdown. Unless he has hands of God and hand-eye coordination, he gets back up. And then he's going to go to the 7th round at 5. Are you kidding me?
Wow, this is like a bizarro world where his later knockdowns, he's getting up to them faster than his first one. It's insane, but it shows that Fran is still here to fight. He hasn't given up on himself, and that will to win is what he's going to need heading into the 7th round if he wants to stage a comeback.
Do you think in the back of his mind he just has like music blaring like dun 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 dun, because this is a Rocky moment for Fran. He's got knocked down so many damn times, and this is his Apollo Creed, and Attic 85 is like, what the hell I gotta do to keep you down, old man? I'm trying my best, attacking the body, attacking the head, and every single counter shot is working, but he still can't put this guy down.
Ooh, it'd definitely be a Balboa moment if he's able to stage that late comeback. So far, in true Rocky fashion, he has been getting battered. But we'll have to see. He's gonna able to land one of those uppercuts that could really change the tides. A lot of head damage you can get off from those.
Yeah, and it's getting closer and closer to where you don't want to be if you're Terrence Crawford, because now some of the effects will take in, and now some strikes are handing from Fran. Fran is getting some good successful shots, but how many times can he push forward? Because those body shots are breaking down the opponent. Oh, but a nice 1-2 from Fran. Fran is trying to come up with the power, but not in the right exact range with 90 seconds left to go in the 7th round of all things.
And we're seeing Fran, he's pressing the action past that center of the octagon, or rather the ring, squared circle there, as we saw him linger for most of the fight. And now he's trying to bring the fight to Attic, and they're just slugging away, both of them throwing punches simultaneously.
Oh, he's connecting, but he's just missing out. And again, what is going? Oh my goodness, that was huge. He was able to land 2 more shots. That could have been a vicious rock onto Crawford. Oh, but he's coming back. Fran coming in. 37 seconds left to go in the 7th round. He is feeling some momentum, but how many times can he take that shot? That head is blinking for Attic 85. He needs to be very careful here. Oh, there it is. There it is. Fran working his damnness to get a knockdown. Can he get it? 12 seconds. He will. He will get it. What a stunning turn of events.
And that was a beautifully timed power straight by Fran. It looked like Attic was about to throw one of his own, just dropped the lead hand for a moment, and that created that opening, and it led to this first knockdown. And there could be, shifting of the tides. It could have that Rocky Balboa moment we were talking about earlier, Kingsley.
All that for a drop of blood. Fran is looking like he sees his opponent as a human now, not a boxing god. And Attic 85 is trying to keep up that mystique, keep up that confidence. But when you get knocked down like that, when you use all of your weapons, and you got 4 knockdowns to 1, but the 1 seems like the biggest one of them all, because Fran is now charging forward. Will the counter shots dissuade him? We will find out, but 3 more rounds to play with potentially, and the counter shots are not just hitting as much as they were for Attic 85 so far, Proton.
Yeah, and we saw with that last knockdown that Fran got up at 5. Now he's stepping forward, marching into Attic's space. They're slugging it out, but the punches aren't hurting him as they did before. And like we saw, Crawford got dropped there. And a beautiful slip in there. It's a rear hook landed there by Canelo Alvarez.
It was like a little bit of a boxing drill as both guys are missing with the hooks, but Attic 85 able to answer with a body, and both guys going for it. The counter shot, oh, the power shot, that wobbled Attic 85 a little bit. That head help is getting lower and lower, but the side step, perfect boxing maneuver. Oh, but the straight with the power works. Fran, can he survive? He is still swinging. He says, damn you, I'm gonna swing going on my sword. But with 104 left, that's the 5th knockdown. Now, if he gets up, like, we're in different kind of territory, because halfway count, he gets up at 6. He got up at 6.
Wow, this is unbelievable. I have no idea how he managed to muster up the synchronization to match up those bars. This 5th knockdown, 30 seconds left to go, round number 8. He's still hurting, and it was actually not a headshot, but a body shot that dazed him that time. So he's hurting everywhere, but he still has that, that will to fight, marching forward.
Oh my goodness, that uppercut was devastating. 5 seconds to go. You can't turn off the gas so far. The straight into the power, not really able to make it. And for some dang reason, in our first 5-round exhibition card, we're going to a 9th round when it seems like it was dead to rights for Fran. Attic 85 was doing so great in the first couple of rounds, consistently getting counter punches, but now Fran has a new sign of life. Even though he gets knocked down, his minigame skills are keeping him in this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. This fight would be over a lot sooner for many other players who aren't as proficient at that mini game. But Fran is still in this. He still has a chance as long as he can punch. Landed the nice straight and left hook, uppercut out of range. But Attic can't let this slip away. He did just get a knockdown earlier, so he's definitely still in control. But he's being a bit more cautious with his head health, not looking too fresh.
Yeah, and that's a key part, slipping away, right? Because Attic 85, every time he wants to get a clean shot and he's moving to his right, if we see Fran just use a left hook, he might have a chance, but time might be running out as Attic 85 says, all right, we need to shut this down right now. What will it take? Going for the body, gets a nice left hook, and Canelo down for the 6th straight time. There's no way. He has to stay down. Throw the towel in. He can't get back up. He can't get back up for a 7th damn time.
This is crazy. I thought it was over. That's all she wrote. I was getting ready to move on to the next fight, but no. Fran is still in this. He's making sure that Attic knows that he's going to be leaving a mark and not escaping here unscathed.
The Mexican zombie is alive, and he's still fighting in the 9th round. 6 knockdowns will not stop Fran from coming back out saying, you have to kill me to beat me. And that's what Attic is trying to do. So many counter punches, so many body shots, and we're still going in this contest.
Yep, 9th round about to come to a close, and Fran, he knows the game plan. He can't just be backing away even though he's hurt. He has to go for a finish and 1 round left to go, and they're slugging away as the bell rings.
I I have seen it all. I've seen crazy knockouts. I've seen flash knockouts. It's 88 to 76. There's no way in hell that Fran could win on the judges' scorecards. So he has to go for a finish. I don't know if this is remotely possible. The fact that he got a 6 straight times, maybe 7 straight times, I don't know. I have lost count. He is still in this fight in the 10th and final round here, Chrono. What are you expecting from Bad 85 to do?
You know, it's tough. It's a tough call for Addict. You definitely want to capitalize on such a great.
Oh my God! The counter shot put Canelo in a state, and for the 7th or 8th time, there's no way. End the chapter. Bren cannot get back up. It is done. The story, Addict 85 gets the KO victory.
Yeah, and talk about capitalizing on the performance. As I was saying, got that flash knockdown with a beautiful power straight that set down Canelo for the last and final time. Valiant effort by Fran, but punctuated a great performance. Addict 85, all but one of the rounds in his favor, 88 to 76. That was a great performance, and what a slugfest.
Honestly, I'm just a round of applause for both these fights. Addict 85 with his clean boxing, but Fran with his heart and his will made that fight a lot more interesting than it had any right to be. And you could see that Fran was down to 21% stamina. His health was damn near low. He was having a chance, and he got that one knockdown. It was just so much clean precision was working so well. But if guys, fans, Twitch and on YouTube, if you have just showed up here for your first ever time in the ESFL, this is what you can expect in the ESFL. You can see the heart, the power, the excitement that brings here in the Esports Fight League, and we welcome you guys here, as that was just our first fight. We still have so many fights to go. I am your host, Kingsley. Alongside me is Crodon. We are excited to be here, especially after that first Sam fight. That it's gonna be something so exciting. So Crodon, any last things you want to say about that fight? I took so much of it, but I had to give it a round of applause.
No, but yeah, definitely a memorable fight. You know, it looked like it was going to be over early, but Fran stayed in it. And you got to give props to Addict, because this was, as I said at the beginning, it seemed like it was going to be a highly contested bout, but Addict in control for much of the bout. Beautiful picking of his shots, and ultimately got the KO in a great fight.
Absolutely. We saw one great fight. Let's move on to another, as our second fight is ready to go. It's going to be Enzo going against Jay Jeezer, which is going to be another little bit of a repeat. We saw Canelo Alvarez walk like a Mexican zombie in the first fight. Now he's going against a Sugar Ray Leonard, who is a whole different type of level when it comes to a contest, because not only you have to worry about the defensive abilities, you have to worry about speed and power in this contest here, Chrono.
Yep, and we have Canelo again. Maybe he'll be able to get the win with a different matchup opposite Sugar Ray Leonard, or SRL as he is abbreviated, and it's going to be different. Unlike a Crawford pick, you're not going to be able to slug it out with Canelo in the pocket. I definitely want to be an outboxer, so we'll see if Enzo is able to manage his distance against Jay Jeezer, who will want to march him down and just batter away at will.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this whole thing is going. And I think I hear myself in our location, but hopefully we'll be able to see it. So we'll apologize for the audio, but we're gonna make sure that this fight is gonna be as good as well. And also, if you're on Twitch, if you're in the Twitch chat, get your predictions in, because if you thought that first fight was gonna be insane, this fight is also gonna be another bit of a banger. Again, 10 rounds that we're seeing here, and after what we saw, like 8 knockdowns in that first fight, what are you expecting in the mini game skills for both these competitors? Because I feel like that's also another key part that we didn't even think about before.
Yeah, and judging by their player levels here, 18 and 15, especially with the game resetting as it came out on October 8th, it seems that both these guys have a fair bit of experience. So we definitely could see a few kind of zombie resurrections as
Oh
they get
no.
knocked down. But with the pace of the fight, I'm expecting a bit of a different one with Enzo's Leonard pick. Like I said, he wants to pick his points, possibly go for the decision win, but you never know with the counters that they start landing. Canelo's chin can be cracked, as we saw in the previous bout.
Yeah, it can be cracked, but like keep now, like not only are we gonna see a resurrection of a fighter, we might see a zombie apocalypse of how many times they could get back up. But still, it's so exciting to see what people are gonna be doing with this reset. Cause right, we had early access, as you mentioned before, and people were playing hours and hours of Undisputed. But the fact that everything reset, it's a new even playing field. And the fact that they're 18 and 15 within this weekend means they've been putting work in. They've been researching, putting the lab, knowing that they were on the card, and they're waiting to implement their strategy. Would you think, if you saw the previous exhibition card, do you think you have a little bit of confidence of what your strategy is, or do you just block out all the noise and just focus on your own gameplay when it comes to these fights?
I think it'd be good to pick up some notes, seeing how the previous fights went, because it's the whole different world when you're just fighting online versus in a competitive setting. Of course, this is just an exhibition, but get an idea of how many risks you can take. Maybe people are being fancy with their fighter picks and more. So it could see a bit of a different strategy than they may do on a regular night out, just playing the game.
For sure, and we'll have to see if that is actually going to be the case because we saw loose movement be heavily favored in the first exhibition card. We haven't seen it yet in this card so far, but it's very very early as we're getting ready for our second fight. Again, to remind you guys, Enzo is in the blue and white using Sugar Ray Leonard. Jay is in the gold and white using Canelo Alvarez on the right, and already counter punches. This is what you want to see from Sugar Ray Leonard, being more of the outside fighter, make Canelo get in, but also protect that body in the process.
And we're seeing extended combos from both of these fighters. I was surprised to see Enzo march down to the center of the ring to begin with, but now, as we expected, he's on the outside of the ring with Jay Geezer trying to march him down with body hook out of range right there.
And it has to be the fear, right? You got hit with a couple of counter shots before, and you see Enzo just laying back a little bit, and his opponent just missed a couple of shots. It seems like they want to be in a phone booth, but it seems like distance game might be a huge factor for Enzo.
Yeah, he is the taller fighter with a bit more reach, and so that big shot he ate right there. So if you do him well to stay out of range on the end of Canelo's punches, just weave a bit backwards, but so far he's getting hit a fair bit.
Yeah, and this is what you want to do. Hit the straight and go to the body. We see the movement and the stamina being used a lot already with 110 left, and that it took a bit of a dent on that Canelo Alvarez stamina. You can't use so much of it in the early parts of the round because you need to watch out for the counter shots, but he lands a nice right hook for his troubles. And again with the left hook, that stunned him a little bit. Those body shots are working. Jay is on a heater right now, but using a lot of that stamina though.
You have to watch out because once you deplete that stamina, you're vulnerable to a power shot returning your way by Enzo, which, as we mentioned before, it could be a very consequential event, a flash drop. Big right hand there landed by Jay Geezer.
Jay is doing such a nice job of working his way to the inside, trying to shorten the reach of his opponent. But good job for Enzo, working his way back, resetting, getting the mind right, knowing that he has to go into a second round, but shots like that has to give him cause for concern because now he needs to adapt to what his opponent's bringing out.
Yeah, and we're looking at how Jay is doing in the corner, already down 12% of his stamina, look like he had about 90% of his block health. So Enzo has been throwing, even when he hasn't been landing. It can open up the opportunity for some connections later on in the fight.
So another quick question, since you put so many hours into the Undisputed game, early access and launch week, do you see more players take a round off, try to conserve that stamina, trying to regain it, or do you see a pattern of everyone just keeps going for it at the same pattern and just says screw it, the stamina's gonna be the stamina?
I think with the state of the game now, it's rare to see people take a round off. You don't have to be too concerned about it, and you're not going to be regenerating that much of it, especially if your opponent has that aggressive mindset in your face. You got to throw back to make sure you're not just a sitting duck there. So I wouldn't expect to see someone just trying to coast and regain their gas tank, but so far these guys throwing at each other at the center of the ring.
Yeah, center of the ring, we saw Jay miss a couple of his hooks, but he lands with that perfect body, but needs to be careful of his own body because right now both guys are going for uppercuts and it's landing consecutively for Enzo. Oh my goodness, the perfect punch set up. He saw his opponent commit and was able to bring him down, and that's it. That's it. Oh my goodness, one moment, one shot. Enzo gets the victory in the second round. No get-ups, no mini-games, no nothing. Sugar Ray Leonard sealed the deal for Enzo.
One hitter quitter. I guess Canelo, he didn't listen. Whoa! Sugar Ray
Oh,
Leonard,
spooky.
he double parked outside. He's already out of the building, and he had to go. That's why he made sure to end the night early. Jay Jeezer just knocked down and then knocked out there with that big hit.
I mean, it makes sense. It's Halloween season, and for Jay, that's a bit of a horror, right? You felt like with the body shots that Canelo was able to do, and he was using a lot of it, the fact that you get hit with, I don't think it was a power straight, but that straight, I need to look at the bot again, but the fact that he was leaning back in the right perfect range, able to hit him while his opponent was committing to a shot, was just a huge flash knockdown. The fact that he couldn't stand back up, that one of those rare occurrences where the perfect science, the sweet science of boxing just plays into your favor there.
Yeah, Leonard by KO was definitely not a result I would have picked, but Enzo made it work with that retreating rear hook. I think he landed just on the chin of Jay Jeezer's Canelo. Very unlucky for Jay Jeezer, but Enzo was able to capitalize and make it a short night.
Yeah, and you know, hey, luckily this is an exhibition card. We're gonna have a season whenever that is announced. But the fact that you see that, it kind of gives you more cause for concern. But Jay also, you know, you can't really be upset at how you played. It just upset about the outcome, I would say, because he had a good strategy coming in. He got pieced up in the perfect time, a pure sniper shot. But speaking of snipers, Crodon, we're on to our next fight, because not only are we going to a different weight class, it is the heavyweight. So expect a bunch of power going into our next matchup, which is going to be Monzo versus Donnie. And very interesting, you saw Tyson Fury 09 in the first exhibition card, but Joe Joyce, a new oncomer fighter for Donnie, go on the left side.
Yeah, and it turns out they did go for the heavyweight division. I believe Monzo was able to get the first pick there. He made sure to avoid a lightweight, you know, trying to get a not give too much of an advantage to Donnie, but Donnie's still going with an unconventional pick. Joe Joyce, the juggernaut, slow, tanky, and he'll just be marching forward, just trying to wear you down over time in a battle of attrition. But Monzo with the young Fury pick, interesting one. We'll have to see if he's able to maintain his distance and stay on the outside.
Yeah, and with the slow pace that you have for like the fighter character compared to your gameplay, do you try to synchronize how you play with how the actual fighter like fights in real life, or do you try to like implement like a blending of strategies when you go to a contest?
Yeah, in this game, especially with you know, unique pick like Joe Joyce, you do have to kind of curtail your style to your pick. You're not going to be able to throw flurries out like you're playing Canelo or Amir Khan. You have to pick your shots, keep it, you know, power jab here and there, just one at a time. Slow down your pace, because you can't afford to be throwing extended combinations, because you'll be have a lot of air time as your punches retract, and it can leave you vulnerable to some deadly counters.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how it goes. And hopefully that. I don't think that's an omen of how this contest is going to be. But luckily, hopefully, all competitors have the controllers ready to go. Everything's all set as we're going to our third fight of our exhibition card, our second exhibition card. If you missed our first one, be sure to check out YouTube to see the archive. There was a lot of great things. The main event was absolutely amazing. KYoungButta is also fighting the co-main event, so something to look out for. And then it's EK versus EK in the main event. EK Warrior versus EK Mixups coming up in the future part, and a little bit of a bow there to start off the contest. We love to see that, as it's all about respect when it goes in that ring.
And immediately we see Donnie marching, staking his claim there in the ring, but now he's marching a bit forward. Monzo is a step back, big stumble there.
You know what? I was scared for a second. I was like, after that first knockout that we had, but both guys are stumbling. That goes to the power of the heavyweights, but the fact that we're already seeing power shots coming in, and with a right hook coming from Donnie seems like he wants to take the action more of the center of the ring compared to his opponent.
Yeah, and Donnie's style is very counter heavy. You know, he's a master of range in this game. Very difficult time if you're up against him. Just great at leaning back just out of range and getting those counters off. But Monzo had the long limbs of Tyson Fury. Beautiful power straight that stumbles Joe Joyce back.
It seems like power shots are the name of the game. We saw Tyson Fury try to go for 3, only connected on 1. And we saw Donnie able to answer back with a Joyce pick. But Tyson Fury, we know that he has a chin. 09 was a peak year for Tyson Fury, but can he reach that range that he needs to be with almost under a minute to go in this first round?
You have to watch. Ooh, nice dig to the body there. And not too much body work so far other than that, but definitely maybe a worthy investment. But like you said, dealing with heavyweights, a lot of power, so he may not need to go the distance. And Donnie just with a lead hook that lands nicely there.
Yeah, and you can see that Matsu is trying to open up his opponent with those jabs. Just trying to enter in with like some type of shot. Needs to be careful. Oh, the hooks! As Donnie able to answer back with a nice power right hook onto his opponent's face, but now to the body he doesn't go, as both guys are trying to headhunt a little bit more as we go to the end of this first round right here.
Yeah, and that was a close round. Punches exchanged on both sides. Immediately just kind of hunch that Donnie may have won that round, but 1 of 9. You never know what the judges see, and doing pretty good health wise.
Yeah, so now you can hear the roar of the crowd, but here in the third round, it's still fairly close. You see a couple of shots go for back and forth. Now this is where you had the filling out process. You had all the things that you could probably account for. The power strikes, the body shots coming in. But it seems like Donnie feels like he has confidence in his right hook.
Yeah, and it's been landing well for him so far. Oh, just exchanging punches. And like I mentioned, Donnie there weaving backwards, trying to just play that distant management game. And that's difficult to do with Manso's Tyson Fury. Has a lot of reach on him, and both guys just in the center, exchanging power shots, but Donnie's lands there.
Yeah, and it seems like a bit of off timing. Like, it's not as predictable. It's not like a sequence that you really get a tell on it. It seems like he's really mixing up the punches and mixing up the timing of his punches, and he's finding those punches to hit home.
Absolutely, and we see Manso now using that Tyson Fury footwork, very mobile for what is actually super heavyweight in his size, a giant there, but he's well matched with Donnie's Joe Joyce. Not too far off, but definitely a reach advantage he can use to his advantage.
Yeah, would you want to play the distance game with the Tyson Fury? Because right now, every single time he comes in, it seems like he's getting hit with those straights and those hooks. Do you want to bring his opponent in and then try to pepper him with some shots when he's coming in? Or do you like the way he's playing this game right now?
I do like him bouncing in and out. It's a massive speed difference between the two. Joe Joyce is especially slow, even for the heavyweight division.
Oh my goodness! The perfect uppercut, and he will get the minigame. It's not over yet, but that is a vicious cut on the right side near the eyebrow line of Tyson Fury. And Manso needs to come up with a game plan right here, because that was just the perfect uppercut punch for Donnie.
And we see Manso immediately out of the gate, closing the distance, because Tyson Fury is great at, with that comebacks after getting knocked down. He does have a trait which boosts his damage and more, but round ends, and he's able to escape with just that one knockdown. But the beautiful flash knockdown there off of that power uppercut, which did cause some bleeding over that right eye, which could be a concern later, especially as that's where Joe Joyce's jabs are going to be landing. So look, keep an eye out for Donnie. You may be focusing on that cut.
Absolutely, and it's not only that you got the knockdown, you got more information. You saw the bleeding on which side it was, so it just makes a big red X of a target onto the face of Tyson Fury, which Manso now needs to be careful about. Maybe that goes into the effect of his brain, but with the CopyBox computer score that we're going to see from one of our judges in this fourth round, are you expected to be 2-1 possibly for Donnie, or how do you see this fight so far?
It's kind of a toss-up of the first round, but we have to wait for the after this one. Oh yeah,
that's in the fourth round. Excuse me. We're in the third round. The action has been so action-packed that it's crazy. But finish your thought on that situation.
Yeah. So first round could be a toss-up, but I'm leaning towards 2 rounds to Donnie. But of course he had that knockdown, so he could be up 3 points on the scorecards. But there Manso making great use of his jab so far in the third round.
Yeah, and Donnie, you can see him pressing forward, taking the center of the ring. But when he sees his opponent get a little bit further away, closer to the ropes, he's just inching his way in, and oh my goodness, a straight like that towards the cut again. Stumbles Tyson Fury a little bit. Monster needs to find a way to evade those type of shots, maybe attack the body as much as he can. He gets a nice counter with a nice straight, with a nice 1-2 coming back for him. So good positive momentum for Mansu.
Yeah, and Donnie was trying to block that, but the power straight split the guard. Cameraman getting in the way there, but that won't let these guys stop their onslaught, as now it looks like Manso is pressing the pace a bit more.
Ooh, and that could be close because we saw the head health is already halfway with the bar. So Mansu is having some action. He's having some powerful shots going after the knockdown, but with 105 left, that head health is not regenerating as much as Donnie wanted. So he's going to keep on fighting, but needs to be very careful with these trades.
And he's looking like he's better off now, but there was a power straight from Manso's Fury that just skimmed by his head, which could have been very dangerous. He's in good shape now, closing out this round, but a much better round for Manso. So far, he's winning this one.
Wholeheartedly, and what he's been able to do with the counter punches, and when he gets stunned, able to answer back with a stun of his own, but needs to be careful because that bleed through from the block will give Donnie a nice advantage as he gets a right hook. And oh my god, this stumble, this two-step that he doesn't want to see is working, but it will get closer towards the end as we will actually go into the 4th round. So excellent action from these competitors. It still could be anyone's fight, but that knockdown proves to be the biggest difference between these two fighters.
Yep, and I was saying that Manso looked to be winning that round, but what a strong closing out by Donnie there, and he may have taken the round back. So have to see if it's 3. Okay, interesting. So they actually have Manso up. He won rounds 1 and 3, but that knockdown in the 2nd round has made this an even affair, 28-28 for both competitors.
Yeah, both guys having excellent rounds, and it seems like if they keep up this pace, we might go to a majority draw, if anything. It's possible in a boxing game, but these guys are just so even kill. One guy gets damaged with the knockdowns, and another one is playing the distance game and getting a nice counter punching and stumbling his opponent. So still could be anyone's fight, especially if the cameraman's involved in this contest.
And then we see ooh, beautiful power straight right there. But again, the same tail throughout the fight. Manso a lot more mobile, while Donnie is more content to just kind of make the micro adjustments with the weave and land a nice power jab right there.
Yeah, and another thing, I don't know what we saw in the quarter break, but we know that there's a cut on the right eye, but is it more on the bridge of the nose now? Did he get cut even more, which I think will be the cause of the jabs that we saw Donnie use with the joist pick? I think he might be a little bit hurt than he's leaning on, even though we can't see the health. But these hooks are just connecting so well for Donnie, but needs to be very careful of leaving himself for a punish.
Yeah, and those power shots will be taking more of the gas tank as he lands a nice rear hook there. Manso trying to march him back as they both exchange big blows. Defense on point for both of these competitors.
Yeah, we saw Manso just skimming a little bit of the body shot, but the jabs, those deadly jabs have been able to stun lock Manso a little bit. Donnie is still moving forward, and it seems like the counter to that for Manso is just attacking the body. Just make sure you get that distance and make him overcommit like he's doing right now. The pull party is in effect. Shout out to Bruce Lee Rob as the hooks coming in. Both guys brawling as Donnie gets the perfect shot he wanted. Going for it. Has his opponent on the ropes. Trying to work the head. Needs to probably work the body with 3 seconds left. Can he survive it? He will, as Donnie gets a huge rock at the end of the 4th round.
That's a great way to close out the round. And for Manso, he may need to mix it up. It's definitely difficult to hit Donnie as he's weaving back, blocking his head. So I'd say jab to the body. There's a big opening right there. Just keep, stick a few jabs there. Play the points game. You are hurt. You need to be a bit careful. But there's a lot of rounds left. Over half the fight. And big power straight just misses there for Donnie. But ooh, vicious rear hook lands.
Yeah, it seems like the uppercut on the left side has been a money move for Donnie, but also those straights and that right hook has been key maneuvers every single time he sees Manso coming in, especially in that phone move, in that little distance range. He knows where he wants to go, and it's up to Manso. Can he have the defensive ability to not get overzealous and see an opening like, okay, maybe I could strike, maybe wait for an opportunity? And it just seems like with 5 rounds coming in, I want to see if Manso could do a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. He does have the advantage ratings-wise, maybe not as much as the current champion Fury, but ooh, big power jab there, but head health advantage and more. So if they do get into an extended exchange, he should come out, but Donnie has been closing that gap So who knows what it looks like. And we did mention there's a big cut on the right side of Tyson Fury.
Yeah, and that uppercut is doing so much damage because you don't expect it. You're expecting the straight, you're expecting the hooks, but that uppercut is just sneaking onto Matsu where he's just not perfect, like evading it as much as he can. And those hooks come in every time he launches in. So Matsu with 40 seconds, can he implement some? Because jabs, straights are also hitting so viciously that Matsu can't find a chance to counter.
It's tough, but he has to keep confidence. He can jab away to the body like I called for. Nice, beautiful counter jab. But Donnie's wall, the guard is acting like a wall right there, blocking most of the things as he lands a beautiful rear hook there to close out the 5th round.
Yeah, it seems like when we first got into this fight, we said Tyson Fury, he has the range, he has the distance, he could be the outside fighter. It seems like Donnie is using that strategy a lot more to his advantage compared to Matsu in this situation.
Yeah, definitely. I did mention trying to play like the fighter that you have selected, or the boxer rather, but Donnie is still signature style. It's playing out here with back foot, counter heavy with great defensive maneuverability, while Manso has to accept his invitation and try to get past his defenses, and almost right there with both hooks whiffing by each other.
Yeah, and it's those little chances, right, that he needs to take advantage, but it's just not really in the right position to really take care of it. Meanwhile, Donnie, every time he sees that opportunity, he's taking full advantage of it. He's getting those left hooks. He's getting those right hooks. He's marching down his opponent. He's using those jabs to open up the cut even more on the right side. And with 2 minutes remaining in the 6th round, just constant punches coming in as he lands a nice 4-hit combination.
Yeah, and we see Donnie, he knew that Tyson Fury was in danger. Now we'll see if he's able to drop Manso, who's stumbling backwards over 1.5 minutes. A lot of time to work. He won't be saved by the bell this time, but Donnie nicely, that's the intelligence, a veteran move there. He knew the day sequence was about to come to an end. He didn't let himself get overextended as he lands a vicious power straight right there.
Yeah, and I got very scared when he got into the vicious corner. You don't want to be that, especially when you're sub, but good movability to gather and get to the center of the ring, but still plenty of time. As you mentioned, Donnie, credit to himself, he is not getting super crazy with his punches to leave him out to get capitalized and punished for his pursuit. Because this pursuit has been perfection so far, especially working on the face of Tyson Fury.
Yeah, well said. It's a lot of pressure, but it is measured pressure as he lands punches to the head. And, not too much body work from either guy, but it hasn't been needed so far from Donnie with a very head-focused attack. There was a few body jabs from Manso, but right now he's slugging back. He's standing his ground as the round is closing out, trying to even out the health.
Both guys go for a straight, and Tyson Fury got the benefit of the doubt in that exchange. But all in all, you can see it very close. Both rounds go. 4th round went to Donnie, 5th round went to Matsu, and it's just a 1-round difference. And that 10-8 round is going to be the biggest difference as we see Matsu able to answer back with a nice straight to stumble his opponent for more. Now it's Donnie on the back foot a little bit. But comes back.
Yeah, those rounds very, they're trading one apiece. It was just that extra knockdown that has Donnie slightly in the lead, but that can definitely change. And it's interesting to see because it feels like he's in control for most of the fight, but Manso is doing well on the scorecards. Beautiful jab to a right hook, and he lands right there.
Yeah, and a huge reminder, that is only one of the judges' scorecards. The other 2 judges could be scored in a different way, so you can't really go off of what the Copybox prediction score is right now, but you just have to keep fighting your fight. Build on the successes and build a house that you could be proud of. And while Donnie is measuring forward, that jab, you can just hear the sound effect of it. How much blood is gushing out, but needs to be very careful of standing in the pocket, because now Tyson Fury landing every single punch, and that head hold is getting lower and lower.
Yeah, Donnie looked to be stunned right there, and he was doing well right before that, landed that 2-hook to a straight combination. Manso equalizing it there, and we see him dancing in and out. Donnie, that pressure kind of subsided a bit as he eats a big power straight there by Manso's Fury.
That is a big, furious shot, but this is a furious combination from Donnie as it will... Wait a minute. Are they going to the doctor? Because that eye is swollen shut on the left side. So you got a cut on one side and a swollen eye, and the referee is taking a look, and he's going to let it continue. We still have a fight, guys.
just faces, he's wearing all of that damage, cut on the nose as well, and that's got to motivate Donnie. Even if he doesn't get the knockdowns, the ref could stop it. But speaking of knockdowns, he's on his way here. Ooh, and Manso.
Ooh, and a taunt.
Wow, very confident as the round ended. That's some nice time management, because I was worried there for him.
Yeah, it was a worrying situation, because I think that's the first time we saw it in these exhibition cards, that your opponent's face got beat up so bad that the referee was like, you know what, we might need to take a look, but it's so straight. It's the cut that happened in the first early part of the rounds, and now the constant damage of trying to protect that right side. The left side is now punished, and now it's swollen eyed shut. So any type of punishment, it's going to be even worse, especially as we're in the, I want to say, 8th round of this contest.
Yeah, it's definitely a situation of picking your poison for Manso. You may favor defense on one side, you may protect that right eye, but then your left eye is swelling really badly, and vice versa, where that cut can open up. And there's a number of ways the fight could be stopped, out of your control, but he's definitely still in this, as he using great footwork here to just not get hit too much. But as I say that, Donnie lands a nice power straight.
Yeah, but now it becomes a mental puzzle, right? Like, how much time did you go try to protect your face to go and land your strike? Because right now he's leaning back, he's letting his opponent tire himself out trying to go for a strike, but you don't want to go for a strike because you're going to leave yourself open, and any one shot could be the difference, as that straight lands perfectly onto Donnie, and Donnie needs to be very careful right now to not get overzealous.
Yeah, hopefully the cameraman shifts out of the way there, but it definitely can change the tides. And looking at Donnie's stamina, just sitting at above 50%, so he can't punch himself out. Only 2 rounds to go, so it shouldn't be the biggest concern, but he has to stay composed and focused to make sure that he doesn't give this fight away.
Yeah, part of me is like they're deliberately trying to get the cameraman in just to create a fog of war into this contest, but I know that's not the case. That's how this game is. But Donnie going for a left hook, trying to get very close, trying to go his opponent in, and goes for monsters for working the jab a little bit, but the power shot come in to that swollen left side. Amantu still fighting as we will go into the 9th round again. And even though there's swelling onto Donnie, that phase has to be busted up if you're Mansu.
That's a very big reason for concern, but Manso landing a beautiful double jab there as heading to the 9th round. Donnie out of range, but it's looking a bit grim for Manso.
It's looking very grim, but again, so much stamina has been used from Donnie trying to put this away. Not the crazy 6 knockdowns that we've seen in our last previous fight, but this is a brawl that we've seen as the fumble fighting is getting closer for Manso, but Manso is just, I feel like he's just terrified of what the next punch could be, because that could be ending his whole fight contest. Oh, but gets a nice 3-hit combination for his trouble.
Yeah, and he has to be well measured, because it looks like Donnie wants to bait him into throwing as he gets him stumbling back with a beautiful power jab. But notice how Donnie throws, then he leans back in the pocket, trying to get off a big counter.
Again, that fog of war. It's just sometimes like when they get that sudden movement away, I get a little bit scared, but nice straight needs to be more worried as well, because Donnie is coming in with some vicious power shots of his own. And I think that left side is also bleeding as well. So both cuts on both sides of the face as Manso is trying to go with hooks, trying to block his way to get in the center of the ring, but he keeps on leaving himself open. How much can Tyson Fury deal with 50 seconds left to go in this round?
And it'll be interesting to see the scorecards as we exit this round, if we do, because it's a matter of whether Manso is still in this fight on points or if he has to go for broke in the final stanza.
I don't know if he's going to find the final stanza, but he needs to find a final shot to knock his opponent down, because with 15 seconds left, the closer and closer this round gets to be over. Again, it was a one round difference. It was 57 to 56 the last time we saw the scorecards. And oh, here comes the referee. He's going to check out that face again. The round is over, but man, that eye is jacked up, and you can see it's a crimson mask, like a version of Mankind, and the referee is going to call it. Donnie gets the doctor stoppage, a TKO victory for Donnie.
Yep, and you can't be mad at the referee for stopping that one. You just face busted up all over, whether it was the cut or the swelling on the left eye. and Donnie, was pushing for the finish. Eventually, got it by way of the referee.
Yeah,
So
and
he
it's
was
also a case where Monto was doing his damnedest to block his face, but every time he swung, he couldn't answer back. Donnie, with only just a bit of swelling damage, was able to come in, come out, use the joystick, which we said it was going to be slow. He has to fight more in a slower pace. He put the temperature onto his opponent as much as possible. It seems like the counter punches, not even towards the body, but just those power shots were working so well for what he wanted to do.
Yeah, definitely, he stayed in control, adjusting his pressure as needed, jabbing away with big hooks that caused that swelling. And ultimately, he did get the stoppage, though. Even if the ref hadn't stepped in, there's a big chance that he could have closed it out in the 10th round. But you never know with Fury's resilience there. So, did manage to get the win inside the distance.
Yeah, it was 57-56 the last time we saw the prediction scorecard. So who knows what could happen, but the doctor did the right thing, because you always have to protect the fighters from themselves. They're never going to stop. But speaking of never stopping, we are ready for our next contest, which is also another good one in the middleweight division. It's going to be Versatile, which we saw in the last exhibition card, going against AKA MG, which is, oh, I actually love this matchup. Canelo Alvarez going against Joe Kazagi. I wouldn't say that's how you pronounce his last name, but this one, Kafagi, excuse me, this matchup is very interesting to see.
Yeah, it's a new pick. We've seen a couple Canelos so far, but with the Kazagi pick, similar kind of approach to Sugar Ray Leonard, where you want to be outboxing, but the main thing he knows, he can pepper away at his opponent with his great cardio. Not so much on the power side of things, but definitely just kind of picking and popping as he wants. And we could see the cardio be a major factor in this, because there is an edge in that factor.
Absolutely. We'll have to see who is going to have the edge in the actual SIC games as we're about to get ready for this fight. We just want to let you guys know that if you ever want to be a part of the ESFL, you can sign up to our Discord and go to our sign up so you can be a part of the next Undisputed card, or when the UFC 5 new season comes out for the ESFL. We are running all around the year with many events that you can check out on our YouTube as we get started with this fight. In the first round, we're seeing body shots are coming out, and again, Versatile doing such a nice job compared to what he did in his first fight on these exhibition cards.
And we see him, he's marching Kazagi down, MG's Kazagi. Beautiful body shots, high and low. Some people mentioned there weren't that many body shots in the previous fight, but Versatile has you more than covered here.
He has a more cover here, but a good straight landing in the body shots as we get close and up in the action in this phone booth shot as MG getting a nice straight. Oh, a good uppercut land too. 3 hits straight unanswered, but we see Versatile still moving forward, closing his opponent, using that block as much as possible to get as close and working towards the body. And you see MG has to block the body, but gets a nice counter shot. Oh my goodness, back and forth we go here, Crodon.
Yeah, and MG's trying to keep Versatile off of him, and we see the height difference illustrated quite well, but he hasn't been able to use that reach as he lands a nice 2-piece, because Versatile is just marching him down. Ooh.
Oh, but a good straight answering back after it was a power shot from Versatile. Versatile is in major damage. Joe was coming up forward, and MG is having his way with the head health of Versatile.
Yeah, and ooh, those power shots are key to keeping Versatile off of him. Just kind of get the pressure to lessen for a moment, and that, we do see Versatile now for the first time in the fight. He isn't just pedal to the metal; he's backing up a bit.
Yeah, it seems like using the range. Oh my God, an uppercut to a right hook, landing for Joe, aka MG. MG is doing such a nice job of peppering his shots, but body shot, you need to be very careful as we approach the end of the first round. Good benefits for both fighters. We see Versatile using those body shots to his benefit, but MG counter shots, body shots, using the distance to go back and forth while staying that phone booth distance has been working really well.
Yeah, and especially early in the fight, or early in the round rather, Versatile was definitely pumping out a lot of volume, but like you said, the counters that MG landed, will that be enough to win that round? Who knows? We may find out later on the predicted scorecards, but round 2, a beautiful power jab right there landed, and a nice body hook to close off that combination.
Yeah, and it's interesting to know because I think an interesting fact is that Canelo Alvarez, so far in this exhibition card, is 0-2. Can Versatile get the first victory for the Canelo Alvarez pick? Because the body shots, the power shots are landing. He has some good momentum, but needs to not get super careless with his punches. Because MG, I feel like he's fine in this type of fight. He's fine in the line of fire when it goes to like trading back and forth.
Yeah, and especially, pick wise, playing online, you may see a lot of the cover star Canelo Alvarez, while Kazagi is a more of a less frequent pick, but with that reach advantage, even in the pocket, you want to be outboxing with Kazagi, but those long arms are useful for getting hooks to go around the guard of your opponent, as Versatile lands a nice body uppercut right there.
Yeah, but it can also be a detriment, right? We saw Joe get so close into the phone booth with Canelo that when he was trying to go for a right hook, it just missed him completely, went behind his head, so he wasn't able to get the hit detection. But it's just so close to see, because this should be Canelo Alvarez's point. He has some left swelling, but under 1 minute, he needs to take advantage of what his opponent's giving him.
Yeah, and we just saw after that he landed that nice body shot. MG is he's stumbling there. That hurt his liver. MG dropped his guard for a moment, and for good reason. A nice punch there to interrupt the body attack, but Versatile, he sees that the body is hurt, but he's not being too hungry. And just focusing on one area, mixing it up, but beautiful power shots timed there by MG.
Yeah, MG needs to be starving right now with his punches, because those body shots are going to pay dividends, because once you are too focused on the body, you leave your head open, which will lead to a left hook and a right hook coming in forward. But good stuff for both competitors, taking a little bit of a breather in the last couple seconds of that second round as we approach the third round. So far, what do you expect from MG to continue on a bit of momentum and just avoid those body shots in general?
Yeah, I think MG will have to do a better job of not getting caught in the pocket. As I say that, he has a nice exchange right there, but he cannot leave his body vulnerable to getting hit with Canelo, who is a proficient, liver puncher right there. But, so far, Versatile is, his head is in danger, less than half of the health, but he's marching forwards.
Yeah, it seems like he knows he's going to get punched with something vicious. He has his head health not really regenerating. He's not really taking a breather. He says, you know what? If I'm going to get all these punches and have success, I might as well take these punches and make sure I have the better chin. Because it seems like he's not even taking his head off the center line. It seems like he's leaning to strike a punch, but not using anything defensively. He's like, left hook, right hook. Let me go straights. Let me attack the body. And whatever happens, happens with his strikes.
That's a good point. We haven't seen too many slips or weaves by Versatile, but he is doing a nice job with the mix-ups. We see him with a signature Canelo Alvarez combo of going with the lead hook to the head and then mixing it up to the body immediately after. It's not too common to see those doubling up on the same side, but can be very effective in this game.
Yeah, it just seems like every single one of these punches are connecting for Versatile. Versatile did a nice job with that stun and now attack at the body. And I feel like with MG, he needs to be very careful, because now the body and the head are just getting damaged right now. Canelo Alvarez, Versatile is marching forward. He has 30 seconds to do something different, but MG will flip the scene and says, I am here. I am fighting with a devastating rock onto his opponent with 15 seconds left here. Can he get the knockdown? It seems like Versatile will survive.
And it did appear that was a flash daze. And had him stumbling right there. Nice shot there by Versatile. But his head health wasn't doing too bad, even though he got stumbled. But it was one of those nice power shots that MG landed to close out that round. Back and forth right there in the final few seconds.
And as we see in the KYoungButta prediction scorecard for one of our judges, 2 rounds going to Versatile, while MG only gets the second round in one of the judges' scorecard. So even though MG got that rock at the end of the third round, some judges think that Canelo did more of the damage in that third round.
Yeah, the game's judging can use a bit of work. It seems that volume is the main metric they score, though, and they don't really care too much about getting rocked unless you do end up getting dropped. But speaking of that, big punches being exchanged, so we may see a daze coming up if MG does.
Oh my God. Throw defense out of the window. It's all about the brawl. It's all about the Donnybrook that both of these guys are going for. With 2 minutes to go, as a power body will land onto Joe. MG still seeing some advantages. He sees that he can bring his opponent down. But another power shot. Risk for reward. And it seems like the reward's going to MG.
And we see Versatile using that loose movement to try and get on his bicycle and be safe. And you do see the shift in pressure. MG, noticed Versatile started backing off all of a sudden. So he felt that the head health was low. And Versatile is doing better now. But we'll see if MG is able to keep up the pressure with a minute left to go in the 4th round.
Oh, and he took a lot of punches to get that right hook power shot. The left hook, the right hook. That head health is low for Canelo. Versatile needs to back off a little bit if he wants to regen, but he's still going forward. He knows he's in a dangerous situation, but MG doesn't realize it because he can't see. He has to go off of feelings, and right hooks are landing, but 25 seconds left. We see Versatile still moving forward.
He's doing a great job of maintaining his poker face. It's that risk and reward. Whether you want to be just moving backwards, but if you do take that moment to throw a power shot of your own, it can throw your opponent off. MG may not know how hurt Versatile really is as we head into the 5th round.
And that's like a very important point, right? Because in UFC 5, you're able to see both each other's like health bars to see like, okay, this is what I need to target. With boxing, with Undisputed, is a whole different thing. You just have to go with tell, so it's easier to do a poker face as much as you can. That left swelling on Canelo Alvarez's face is getting swollen up, and we know that played a huge part in our last fight with a doctor stoppage. So MG has an avenue, but that has to be another strategy in the mental part of this game, right? You have to have the best poker face and not differentiate from your strategy that you've been doing so far.
Yeah, it's a tough choice to make at times because it did pay off for Versatile, but if he got caught with a beautiful uppercut like he did just there, could have spelled a knockdown for MG. But the swelling we saw on the left side of Canelo's face, lines up with the jab of MG's Calzaghe, who is in southpaw in this open stance matchup.
And open stance is working well as MG able to get a couple of punches of his own, able to make some pressure off, but Canelo able to answer back. Versatile looking back, leaning back, getting his head off the center line as both guys center of the ring, trying to get their jabs going, trying to open up that face, maybe work towards the body. And another interesting point, we see Canelo working to the body. I want to see if he goes to the body a little bit more in his bottom, because now his opponent's missing and the body shots are landing.
And those body hooks of Canelo, they fire out really fast. Nice counter one there, and they're great for cutting off your opponent as MG tries to circle out, but Versatile is there, stuck like glue onto him, and he can't get away. A minute left to go in the 5th round. Double digging to the body, just vicious.
And you can see that swelling is like halfway through, and that's working on the block gauge and the health gauge of Versatile. Versatile is still marching forward, letting his opponent know that I am still here ready to fight, while MG taking a center approach, trying to be more of a counter puncher, bringing the outside, walking him away of the ropes, and a good step back for him, MG, with 15 seconds left to go.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to just survive the rest of this round so he can resume his attack later on, but the body's got to be hurting, and just a few more seconds to go if he can make it to a stool without getting seriously hurt, and he does.
It's interesting, right? Because even though we can't see both of the health, it's interesting to know that the body of MG is hurting a lot, but the head health of Versatile is just purely damaged. So it's like, what do you really go for? I guess you go for a jab like that with a nice right hook landing, but a power straight will answer back. Both guys are going for it. And it seems like in that little moment, Versatile, his strategy is like, when there's a lull in the action, just go for a power shot, just load up a punch.
Yeah, it can definitely help, split the sequences up and stop the back and forth exchange of just throwing at one another, as your opponent may not see it coming, and it can definitely shift the tides. And beautiful power shift hook right there by Calzaghe. Versatile mixing it up, going for a more head-focused attack right now. Maybe the body work didn't quite pay off, so he's trying to get MG going backwards, throwing double hooks his way.
But he gets a nice trade for his troubles, but doesn't overcommit. He doesn't want to go in. He's waiting until he has a perfect situation. Goes for the body, goes for 1-2 towards the head, trying to disrupt that block gauge, working towards the body. But how much of his stamina is he going to use? He's in the perfect range to do some damage as he just has his opponent miss. Going to the body. He is walking down his opponent right here for Versatile. But a miss.
And it's great approach. Ooh, as he goes to the body, getting him stumbling backwards. It opens up so many more options on the offense. The opponent doesn't know whether to block high or low. Though MG so far has been able to do a great job of not getting dazed yet, but eating 2 hooks isn't going to be helping him on that front.
Yeah, and good job by MG, just taking a step back, landing the right hook as much as he can. He knows he needs to target that left side. That swollen face is damaged right now. We don't know when we're going to see the doctor, but in round 6, MG is staying true to what he wants to do with his strategy. Meanwhile, Versatile gets a nice right hook for trouble. Trying to work the body, trying to find an opening. Does it, has it, but 5 seconds left, not really much you can do.
Yeah, and there's a lot of punches landing cleanly for both fighters. And I'm surprised we haven't seen a daze quite yet. But looking at that swelling, it's creeping up there just over that halfway mark. And health about, 65% or so. So not looking like this will be making it to the cards without at least another knockdown or so, or a couple rather.
Yeah, but you can also tell on the faces when you're looking in the corner that Joe barely unscathed, but he is skin scathed in the KyoungButta scorecards because now it's all tied up with no knockdown. It has been back and forth, even rounds going to the 7th. So who do you think that favors when it goes to, like, when you're trying to fight after seeing the scorecards?
I think that may kind of boost the odds in Versatile's favor because he's staying in it even though he's trying to pressure. He hasn't been able to capitalize with a knockdown yet, but he's still in that fight. And if he does get one going later, that's a 2-point advantage and can secure the fight in his favor. If you were MG, you would have hoped you had built a bit of a nice advantage there as he lands a vicious combo that has Canelo reeling backwards.
The best range, the best strikes he had, made that head held low, and oh my goodness, he went with loose movement and was able to connect perfectly onto the face of Joe, trying to get that staggering, and that thing happens, and now it's up to Versatile. Can he recoup? He's able to enter back, but that head held is living on a simple prayer right now, Crodon.
Yeah, there's a sliver there with loose movement. It does give you more mobility, but the other side of that is you get boosted damage and you also take more damage yourself when you do get hit, so a lot more vulnerable. It's a bit of a glass cannon approach, and we saw that MG was able to capitalize there, but Versatile's in good health now, marching forward with the hooks, landing on MG.
Yeah, I don't think we saw him in loose movement in the previous round, so a different strategy to open up his opponent even more, and it seems like it's working. He's getting more of the trades in this contest, and for MG, you have to be very careful. You're working towards the body. You want to make sure you're not overly protectable. Go to the head. He's able to land a couple and makes his opponent miss, but a nice straight to the face. Oh, but a good right hook landing for Versatile. Versatile trying to load up, but he gets entered back with 3 seconds left. Oh, 1, 2, 3, but it goes back and forth, and we still don't have no definitive answers going to the 8th round here, Crodon.
And yeah, we saw MG knowing the round was about to end, just slugging it out, and he almost got Versatile's head health completely drained there in the short term, but Versatile back to what's got him success so far, marching MG down and throwing away a beautiful lead hook to the head and body. And we can see Versatile's stamina here not doing too hot, but on the other hand, Calzaghe eating all those body shots. He probably can't be putting out too much output at this point of the fight either.
Yeah, I think we had like 10 straight punches from Canelo, and MG was just not really answering back. He tries to answer back, but he gets punished again. Right hook, left hook into a body, into another right hook. He is swinging into a punching bag that is Joe, to MG as he's doing his job right now. Excuse me for my stomach, but man, the action's going crazy so far.
Yeah, the momentum can shift really quickly. It's snowballing in Versatile's favor right now, because once you get hurt, you see your head health red. It's slow to recover, and as you see, the nice power hook landed by MG can kind of make things calm down for a bit, but no, Versatile gets a daze, and he's trying to march him down. Can he capitalize? Ooh,
oh my goodness.
Or quintuple right hand gets the knockdown.
That was clean as you possibly could see it. 2 right hooks to the face and to the body to bring him down, and that would be the first knockdown. So, hey, that opens up even a bigger advantage because it was even on the scorecards. Now you're looking at a 10-8 with 40 seconds to go, and now it's up to MG. he has to be staggering right now. And you can see the movement, the loose movement of Versatile. He is feeling very confident, even though he was in a dangerous situation in the early parts of the rounds. 15 seconds ago, it feels like he's confident of just leaving this round as it is.
Yeah, there's a new added pep to his step as he walks. And if the pattern held up, it looked like he was winning the odd round. So he might even be up 3 points heading into the 9th. But we'll have to wait and see if this even makes it to the cards. Because with that knockdown and boosted confidence for Versatile in terms of being able to get MG out of here, where before this, it wasn't like he was able to capitalize.
The biggest poker face that Versatile was able to do was make sure he was able to knock down his opponent, and it's working. Those power shots are landing towards the body. He is creeping closer and closer. MG is trying to find an answer to this puzzle, but so far, every time he's trying to find an answer, he just gets more and more damage to his own body. He has his opponent miss a little bit, but he's still close up. He can't evade Canelo Alvarez for so long.
Yeah, and I would like to see MG try a bit more, defensive maneuvers. It does seem that Versatile has a few common combos. He likes to lead with the head, then close it off to the body. So maybe anticipate that first hook to the head, slip backwards, get some counters going. Because as it's going right now, Versatile just battering him high and low.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Usually when you face another opponent, maybe on ranked, they always go to like the head and go with 3-hit combinations. It seems like what Versatile is doing to open up his opponent is just hit the head, hit to the body. Just 1-2. Get him to focus on it, and it will pay dividends as he gets another body knockdown. Versatile with a second knockdown in the fight.
And it's that lead hook to the head followed by the lead hook to the body. It's that high-low we keep talking about, and that's what he was able to get the days off on. And that's what let him kind of get the knockdown secured. And MG's doing a good job of the mini game in terms of getting up fairly quickly.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job, but time is ticking away. Now you have to assume that he is way down on the cards. And MG, he had that one time when he had his opponent stunned with the left swelling being so huge. But now MG trying to find his right hook again, trying to damage the left side of Canelo's face. But with 5 seconds to go, smart strategy for Versatile. Take his way back because it's going to the 10th and final round. If you're in MG's shoes, do you just go for it? I don't know if you just stay so close to your opponent and try to walk away. You just have to take the damage, right?
Yeah, no, it's difficult because with the matchup as MG, you definitely want it to be on the outside, but you got to go for the finish now. And Versatile will have to see his approach, whether he's going to be continuing marching down, trying to capitalize. Because look at we have a 3-point difference on the cards, and it's very difficult for MG to be able to his options of winning are quite limited. Let's just say that.
Yeah, the pressure is at an all-time high temperature as MG looking so good in the early rounds, keeping up the same pace with Versatile. Versatile is still in this fight. He is winning this fight by 3 rounds because of those late 8th and 9th rounds. But now you see the blockade super low. Any type of combinations will disrupt that blockade and have the punches bleeding out to his torso. So with 2 minutes left, you can see that time ticking down. The hook coming in, and then we see Canelo Versatile trying to seal the deal with 148 left. Has his opponent on the ropes, gets the right hook, and has his opponent tumbling down like a tree in the forest.
Man, he almost went over the ropes right there like Ben Whitaker in last night's fights, but the get-up game of MG, will it be? Yep, it comes through, and he gets up at the 8 count. It was very dangerous for him. We did see him throw a few more power hooks to start off this round, and it did get Versatile's head health low, but right now Versatile is just pressuring forward. It looks like he doesn't want this to go to the judges' scorecards at all.
Yeah, and for MG, time is of the essence. You were slow to get back up, and maybe that's just because his fighter has just had so much damage onto the body, onto the face, that he can't really do much. Maybe all those body shots has limited his footwork, because with 25 seconds, we haven't seen him throw one punch until now, and it's only been a jab. He hasn't thrown anything else, and he's just gonna go to the scorecards, I think.
Yeah, it looks content to just hang around by the logo instead of going forwards. Maybe he's trying to get the consolation prize of getting to the cards, but Versatile.
Buzzer beater?
Oh, looks like the bell has rung.
The
do
bell
make
has
it.
rung and the decision has been made. Versacell was able to revenge his last loss in the exhibition card to get a victory against MG.
And that's the first win of the night for Canelo Alvarez. Third time's the charm. He did manage to get the decision, and looking at the scorecards, 5-point differential. And it was really, once the knockdown started coming in, it was definitely the ball remained firmly in Versacel's court.
You see, guys, body shots do work in Undisputed. You just have to keep on doing it. Suffer a little bit of damage. He had left swelling, what was very huge to see. And you can see the percentage, 71 to Joe to 69. So it was fairly close on the punch total. But the key difference was possibly the health, the stamina even too. 40% at the end for Canelo Alvarez for Versacell, while MG only had 20%. So even if he wanted to go forward, he just used so much of his energy in the early rounds that towards the end, it was one punch and it was done. So MG kind of at a tough spot, but an excellent fight nonetheless.
It was definitely tough for him because even though he had the lower overall output, it was that body work of Versatile which limited him to that even that slow movement, the flat-footed style that you get stuck with once you dip below around the 40% mark.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't tell the full story when you look at it. I mean, it was fairly close, and then that 8th round just opened up the floodgates for Versacell to get that destruction, to get the win. And hopefully for MG, he's not dissuaded what happened. It was just, unfortunately, time ran out when it came to his stamina. He had a lot of damage, and I'm sure when he looks back on this archive that we're gonna have on YouTube for ESFL Gaming, he's gonna look like he had some good points into that fight.
Yeah, definitely. You did well early on the fight, getting the pocket exchanges, but overall, the 10-round difference that may have made the difference. Ranked quick fight, you're only fighting 8 rounds. That's actually 2 rounds. It can really take a toll on you.
Here in the ESFL, we go 10 rounds and maybe even 12 rounds when the ESFL Undisputed season comes out, whenever that is announced. And along with UFC, we have all the action that you want to see here for Esports Fight League. We are here, and we're nearly the halfway mark of this exhibition card, the second exhibition card of the ESFL Undisputed exhibition season. We had one on Friday. Definitely check out the archives if you can on YouTube. But we are going to get ready for our next fight here, Croton, because it's going to be another big one, as I'm the GOAT going for his second fight here on exhibition cards, going against Lepo. And we're going back to the heavyweight. And my goodness, when we see the fight selection, it is a bit of a doozy. It's Tyson Fury, not 09 Tyson Fury, current Tyson Fury going against Muhammad Ali.
Big battle of the eras here. Both fighters, they're known for their slick technicality, but we're going to have to see how this plays out, because with the big sizable size advantage I'm the GOAT has over Lepo, it'll be something for him to overcome.
Yeah, and we'll have to see. We know that both of these guys love to play on the outside when it comes to both of these selections. But for I'm the GOAT, he last fought, and due to the situation, it was one of those disconnections that we rarely see in the ESFL, of where he wasn't able to finish that fight, but he had some good points. Can he build on that success that he had in the previous exhibition fight? Which I lead to you, Croton, with this question. When you have a fight and say it's a disconnection, or if you lose, do you want to go automatically back into a fight as quickly as possible, or do you want time to like decompress and get into the right mindset?
Definitely could be frustrated having a fight just cut off like that, out of your control. And personally, I can't speak for I'm the GOAT, but definitely want to get back in there and resume the action, resume the fun, and we'll hopefully be able to see this reach a satisfying conclusion in this matchup between the classic Ali versus modern day Tyson Fury. And unfortunately, we got a disconnection, it looks like.
Yeah, so while we're trying to get that fight all sorted, again, we welcome you guys to ESFL Undisputed Exhibition Card number 2. It is Undisputed launch weekend, which we are so excited to be a part of, along with UFC 5, along with other stuff that we have done. We always love showcasing the talent that we have here, which you can find on Twitch and on YouTube. Leave a follow, subscribe if you can, and also join our Discord if you want to be a part of these fights. If you say, hey, I could do better than what happened, I could get a flash knockout, you can sign up and be a part of this growing community that we have for all things esports fighting. So Croton, so far let's take stock of this whole card in general. What has been the biggest surprise, or what has stuck out to you on this exhibition card so far?
Yeah, well, in terms of surprise, Enzo's early flash knockout of Jay
Yeah.
Jeezer, that was quite unexpected. Jay packing early. But other than that, the rest of the cards, the barn burner between Addict and Fran, that, the resiliency with how many the get-ups was there. There was like round 7. Fran just kept rising with Canelo Alvarez, and that was just insane to see. He managed to capitalize with a Addict later on with a flash knockdown, ninth round, and he was able to seal the deal there.
Yeah, a lot of great things. And if you miss any of it, again, you can watch it on YouTube as we are going back into the fighter selection screen. And as we said, Tyson Fury versus Muhammad Ali, very big matchup. As we see, I'm the GOAT, leaning towards a Tyson Fury pick. Meanwhile, his opponent, Lepo, feels confident with Muhammad Ali. Now, when it comes to the heavyweight, we know that Tyson Fury, Muhammad Ali, like maybe other kind of fighters are like the meta pick, but when you look at the heavyweight division, is there like an unorthodox pick you would recommend when you go into a fight like this?
It really depends on your style. At the moment, online, Deontay Wilder really is kind of
Right.
wreaking havoc with his power. Hopefully, they get out like a patch soon, which kind of tones down the stamina, so he's not able to throw as many. But I'm not sure if there's a gentleman's agreement between these two fighters here, or they just prefer to go with these more technical boxers. But it'll definitely be an interesting matchup. And it is the younger Ali, so you have even more punch speed on his side. So even though Lepo will be the smaller man in the ring there, the advantage over Fury will be quite formidable in that department.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully we'll let these guys know while they're broadcasting their own fight. Make sure to take the commentary down. We don't need a double level commentary. We have the nice, amazing tones to get you through the fight. So hopefully we'll get that sorted, or maybe mute if we need to. But the roar of the crowd, everything is ready to go for our 5th fight of this undisputed exhibition card number 2. As again, GOAT, I'm the GOAT, is using Tyson Fury in the red and white, going against Muhammad Ali, who is being used by Lepo on the right side. And so far, we see more control over to I'm the GOAT. He's using more of the center of the ring, while Muhammad Ali doing as Muhammad Ali does. Lepo playing a little bit outside, but not really connecting, using some wild punches so far in this fight, Crodon.
Yeah, and perhaps both of these fighters did not get one another's memo. Both of them decked out with the matching white and red kits, but Lepo with nice lead hook that lands there, trying to bounce around by the outside and really just letting I'm the GOAT punch air so far. Just so very early into the first round, but that reach is very difficult to surmount. And as we see, Lepo eating a few hooks there by I'm the GOAT.
Yeah, the fact that he could lean back 2 steps away, has his opponent needs to come in, and he's able to like picture like a perfect straight shot into the face of Muhammad Ali. I mean, that's troubling. Sometimes you need to be like that close-up puncher, even though you expect it to be outside fire. But oh my god, a bypass like that already! I'm the GOAT working on his stuff. We saw body shots pay huge dividends in the last fight. It seems like the continuing trend is happening right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm the GOAT leading his combinations off nicely with that long jab of Tyson Fury. Early on, it seemed he was content to keep his distance, but maybe he felt something in there. He felt Lepo's power, and he's not afraid, and he's pressing forwards, but nice body hook there by Lepo.
Yeah, amazing body hook, and hopefully we get to see more of it. But a nice return to sender if you're Lepo. Lepo able to get the nice job done. As you see his opponent back and forth saying, hey, it's only 5 seconds. I don't really need to force all my stamina. Oh, but a vicious body shot again. And that took a, what, 2/3 of the body health onto Tyson Fury? What an incredible shot.
Absolutely. And we see 9% of Tyson Fury, or I'm the GOAT stamina gone after that first round with Lepo's nice Ali shuffle to close it out. So, early on, definitely give the advantage to I'm the GOAT, but great, strong closing there for Lepo. On the judges' scorecards, may have to favor I'm the GOAT there, round 1.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it goes to the favor. Can he continue on with the scorecards? Because sometimes when you feel like you're ahead, you just lay off the gas and it leads you open for more destructive shots. But so far, 91% in stamina. Do you think that's a good range for I'm the GOAT using all the strengths that he's been using so far in like going to the future rounds?
Yeah, it's decent. We have 10 rounds so far, but you definitely want to kind of limit the stamina loss going forwards because you don't want to be kind of dropping into or the flat-footed mode. I meant to
Hmm.
say, because then really limits your mobility. So be careful, watch out, try not to be as many body shots though. Much easier said than done.
We'll have to see if words can translate into action. Because again, I'm the GOAT using the Tyson Fury, working well of closing the distance, trying to land the combinations as he wants, as he gets a nice straight into a left hook for his troubles. Meanwhile, Lepo still trying to find his way, trying to circle in, but every time he gets to the trade, it seems like Gypsy King is working his way.
Yeah, though missing a few punches there as Lepo is backing off, and we can't quite see it, but there may have been a cut opened up on I'm
Mm.
the GOAT. Though visually, nothing seems to have appeared so far, but we'll have to see if that becomes a factor later on in the fight. But defensively sound, nice three-piece that I'm the GOAT lands right there.
You get a nice three-piece and then maybe a soda at the end as he gets a nice left hook. But again, the body shots was the biggest concern. And I think the cut is on Muhammad Ali. I think Lepo got hit with some vicious combinations. Oh, but a straight like that will stumble his opponent. As you see him sees a little sight of an advantage. Tries to lean back. But that's a good start for both these competitors. But Lepo getting a nice straight shot for his troubles.
Yeah, and with those stumblings, they can be deceiving. It does look like a big reaction, and as blood trickles down the right brow of Tyson Fury, kind of
Oh,
flowing outwards now. But like, even though your opponent may be reeling,
two
oh, big
good
days
straight.
there.
A big days indeed. And Tyson Fury and Muhammad, I think this is the first time we see in the early rounds that both fighters are cut up. Oh, but a power shot just straight miss. He tried to catch him, slip in a little bit. Oh, but a right hook into a face. Both guys are going for non-stop action in the ESFL as 20 seconds are leaving. Oh, he just misses the good lane back from Lepo. Lepo still staying in the pocket, trying to move a little bit more, but the power shot's not landing as we're getting towards the end and moving to the third round.
Yeah, but we do see Lepo switching stances there, a bit of a manual shuffle right there. But what I was saying with the stumbles is, even though it may look like a big reaction, your opponent may not be as hurt as they seem, and
Mm.
they are often out of range just naturally as they just stumble around out of your punches. So you got to be careful of the return. But we see the cuts on both boxers here heading into the third round. Looks like it might be a cut on Ali's bridge of his nose. So perhaps not affecting his vision, and that wouldn't be something that the referee would really stop the fight over. But we'll have to see how it plays out.
For a second, I thought he went to the pause menu. I saw throw the towel. I was like, you better not try to go and throw the towel right now. Because right now the action is continuing on. And we're loving this pace so far because Muhammad Ali, Lepo, is using some body shots, but a right hook coming from Tyson Fury, coming from on the go, will make more bleeding happen as both guys are working a little bit well. But kudos for the cut, man, for Tyson Fury, because now that cut on the right side is not really showing any blood, not even gushing out blood. It's up to Lepo to see if it can open up, but Muhammad Ali still open up with some crazy shots as we get another reaction on the striking shots in the phone booth.
And the combinations are in favor of I'm the GOAT so far, though Lepo with some big shots, the power shots every once in a while, definitely keeping this more even than it would be otherwise if he just not loading up as much. But I'm the GOAT continuing to march forwards. He likes the exchanges, how they're happening. 1, 2, and 3 getting through the block in a
Ooh.
massive right hand for Tyson Fury.
And you have to feel for Lepo because he probably felt like he was in the right distance where those shots were able to land. But man, that counter will just give you like a mental sting. And now we see the cut open up for Tyson Fury. That eye is bleeding once again. Now it's up to both these competitors. What can they do to open up? And it seems like the jab has been the most useful tool in their toolbox because once a jab lands, they're branching up with all different kinds of shots, and it's opening up so much opportunities for both of these guys.
And that jab is definitely a key. And I would like to see both of them perhaps just change levels, throw it to the body where it's open. You don't have to keep the rest of your combination down there, but you can mix it up rather than just hitting the block. But as I say that,
Oh,
ooh,
Lepo out of nowhere gets the right hook and brings down Tyson Fury with 10 seconds left to go in a round. Will he get back up? Good skills on the minigame as the bars were big enough for him to get up at the 5 count. But that's a huge difference going into the 4th round because that is a 10-8 round for Lepo.
Yeah, definitely. It seemed like I'm the GOAT was in control of that round, but now it changed. And then not just by 1 point, like you said, 10-8, 2 more in advantage of Lepo. And, depending on how the judges score this, I think it could be 28-28 round, tied up with I'm the GOAT getting the first 2 rounds. But we'll have to see how it looks like on the predicted scorecard, of course, not the official one. But look at that stamina, 30% down for I'm the GOAT. But, it is a 10-round fight, but with that kind of pace, you can tell he's going for a finish rather than trying to get the decision win.
Yeah, and maybe the visual is another key too, because you see Muhammad Ali, he's just listening to his coaches. He's like, all right, I'm ready to get back into another round. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury, if you look at all this, like, look, head down. He's just like thinking about his life, maybe his family, and it doesn't seem like he wants to get part of it. But look at the scorecards. With that 10-8 round, Lepo just tied it up. So for I'm the GOAT, he needs to feel real confident that he could take this back in, but a knockdown could dissuade him. But both guys doing excellent work so far.
Yeah, and despite that knockdown, having him looking dejected in the corner, it's a good sign that when that type of event doesn't occur, he is winning. He won the first 2 rounds, so he's overall getting the better of the exchanges. Just unlucky to get that flash drop, but Lepo with a nice high-low combination with the jab and then straight to the body. But I'm the GOAT answering back here.
Yeah, very good answers indeed. And but a good answer back and forth. We've seen it seems like when one person gets 2 strikes in, the other one gets another 2 to answer all the way back. And I don't know if I like that power straight coming out from I'm the GOAT. Maybe he's a little bit too tense, and there after seeing his own fighter be down and out in the corner. But for Lepo, working the jab into a right. That's perfect execution towards the body. Not seen on one target, but multiple targets throughout this whole round.
Yeah, beautiful double body power hooks, it seemed like, and a vicious right hand that has Tyson Fury stumbling, and they're both just slugging it out. I'm the GOAT looks to be doing decently head health wise, over 70%, so he's not afraid to press the action, just jabbing away. I love that jab, and it looks like it's landing despite Lepo's efforts to block it. It may have to do with that height advantage, just landing on that forehead. And that cut is definitely a concern, trickling down over the rest of his body.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the one thing you need to watch out. You need to protect that part of your body as much as possible. But as the hooks coming in, not really get a full clean connection with 20 seconds left in his 4th round. A good straight coming in with a nice counter punch from I'm the GOAT. I'm the GOAT has him in the face of danger right now with a nice hook, landing with a powerful shot. But he goes for an uppercut when he had a chance. And you just shake your head at that situation, Crodon, because you were expecting a different punch there, right?
Yeah, it was unlucky. If he had gone with the hook, opted to go there, it could have been a vicious counter. Unfortunately, the uppercut really not the range that he needed there, and whiffed on what could have been a great countering opportunity. But still, it was a nice round there for I'm the GOAT, who I believe rebounded and did enough to secure that. But we'll have to see how it looks like. And speaking of the corners, now it looks like it's Lepo's Ali who's not looking so confident.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a chance of like where we could talk to the devs and see like, is there any kind of tell to that, or is it just like corner animations? Because like if someone loses a round and maybe they have their head down and wait a minute, someone threw the towel in. We were still going through forward, and oh my god, I'm the GOAT wins by corner stoppage.
Wow,
It was a
forfeit.
surrender.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think we ever seen that in ESFL or Undisputed history where someone just threw the towel with 4 rounds to go. Interesting to see, but the swelling was hurt and the stamina was 93 for Muhammad Ali. Prodot, how do you even make sense of that?
Yeah, it's confusing, because Lepo, he did have success of his own with that knockdown, especially cuts on both sides. And what I'm thinking, it possibly could have been an unfortunate disconnect, because we did see they had trouble getting into the lobby the first time, bit of distance between the 2 players. But that fight was back and forth, and very surprising if it does turn out that Lepo did end up just throwing in the towel, because he was still in that fight.
So that's crazy. I'm the GOAT was dealing with one disconnection in the first exhibition fight, and then it happens again. We were talking about like maybe he could build on the success of it, and hopefully we'll get some information of how we're gonna continue or so. But you know, you never know what you're gonna see in the ESFL. But let's talk about what happened in that fight, right? We saw that Lepo was able to get the knockdown in the third round. It looked like he was doing such a nice job in that situation, but the first 2 rounds were very key for On The Go. He was having some success early. What do you see change to lead to that knockdown?
You know, it's just unlucky there with the that just it came with a flash knockdown, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe got a bit too overconfident with the exchanges, didn't jab enough. But overall, I'm the GOAT was definitely in control, and you know, from what I'm hearing, it was an unfortunate disconnect on Lepo's part, and not intentional.
So we are getting some news in the back from our staff who are doing such a great job right now. It was proven to be a disconnection, so we're gonna see if we can try to figure out another situation. But I feel like, you know, that has to stink if you're On The Go. Like, you try to do your best thing and try to find a way to fight, and you've seen all the other fighters do such a well job. We saw Enzo doing a great job, Attic 85 do such a great job, and Donnie and Versacell have some good victories. But for On The Go and Lepo, this is your chance, your one moment to find a way to get a win, and it was taken away from you to a disconnection, unfortunately.
Yeah, and like you said, it's the second time for I'm the Go, which is quite unfortunate. But we'll have to see if we do end up restarting it or not. But there's some takeaways that they can both have from that fight. And that jab from I'm the Go, you know, starting to work well. Team, despite the knockdown, he was doing good, but only a few rounds into that fight, still up for grabs.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how we continue on. Cause still, let's just break down for the next couple of fights. Cause again, even though that situation happened, we still have so many great fights for you guys here on the ESFL channel. And thank you guys so much for being patient with us and being here on a good Sunday evening or day, wherever you are in the world. We appreciate you live here on Twitch or on YouTube. I'm your host, Kingsley. Alongside me is the one, the only Crowdon, who has been absolutely amazing today. But let's talk about what's coming up in the future of these fights. Again, we still have our main event, EK versus EK Warrior versus Mixups. Someone has to lose to get the bracket rights in the camp, while the co-main event is KYoungButta versus BoneDoinWork. Then the co-main event is Game Over, who had such an impressive showing in the exhibition card on Friday, which you could check out on YouTube on our ESFL gaming channel, going against MPK Megatoni. Then the action is out there because we still have 2 other fights below that: Samurai Robin versus NM Burn, and then Highly Favored going against Fox Esports TV. So a couple of known fighters in the community going against some people who are making their debuts. When we take a look at the main event and co-main event, what are you looking forward to the most when we go to the high caliber of fighting?
You know, with that co-main event, BoneDoinWork has talked about his love of boxing a lot. You know, a lot of appreciation for Floyd Mayweather. So I think that style could translate well to this game. You know, even with the UFC octagon, he's been known for being quite technical, going for the point victories. So that could be well. KYoungButta, he did have a great showing in his last fight, the main event on the previous exhibition card this Friday against Job, where he managed to get a few late knockdowns. Ultimately lost that fight, but it was a fantastic showing, and against the fantastic player in Job as well. So may have to favor KYoungButta odds-wise, but you never know until the fight actually takes place.
Yeah, and like styles makes fights, right? We saw a whole bunch of styles throughout the first couple of fights of this exhibition card. What style made you like feel like it was the best strategy so far? Was it the outside fighting that we've seen before? Was it the heavy hitting of the Canelo Alvarez to the body? Like, what stood out to you was like the best strategy that you've seen so far that you're expected to see maybe possibly in the future fights?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the success came from being able to dictate the engagements, you know, mastering the range, whether it was Donnie with his weave or MM Addict, or Addict 85 rather, just with going in and out of the movement. Because once you get those counters going and the opponent is stunned, you can start to really just wail away at them. So that's kind of been the big difference maker, who can really control where and when the fight takes place, especially.
Yeah, so is basically the tempo and the pace that is what is going to be coming a huge factor in all of these fights, because all these fights have been so amazing so far, and we're going to continue on to this rolling train because our next fight is ready to go, and we're going to go to Samurai Robin, who is going with someone that we know took a big loss in this weekend, going against NM Burn, who's using a Roy Jones Jr. If we could take a look at the fighter selection lobby right here, what are you expecting between these two competitors? Because we saw Roy Jones Jr. do such a great situation in the last exhibition card.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting matchup. Like you said, Bivol, controversial loss last night, but that doesn't mean he can't change things around in this ring. Here we go for the matchup, but like in terms of height advantage, definitely might be similar. You know, Bivol is usually, or rather Roy Jones Jr. He's kind of a smaller man amongst giants in the heavyweight, but this is light heavyweight where he had a lot more of his success throughout his career. Be interesting to see whether he presses forward. You know, we have the battle of the traditional block against the Philly shell. We have to see if Samurai Robin is able to get past Burns' defenses, but that jab, the battle of the jab will be a key one in this one.
You're welcome, Boiler. We finally got a Philly shell, so you can talk about Joe Fraser. You get your one Joe Fraser each card, and this is it. So you're welcome. But this is sure to be another excellent contest, as again, 10 rounds in this contest as we're going forward in an ESFL exhibition card. Again, here are the fighters. Samurai Robin using Bivol in the black and red on the left side. On the right, it is NM Burn using the blue and the black using Roy Jones Jr.
And there is a bit of a height difference between them, but a lot less pronounced than it would be in other classes. But Dimitri Bivol, you know, marching forward, Samurai Robin, in the front. But I don't know if that was a bit of a taunt there by Burn there, kind of beckoning forwards.
Yeah, and maybe that could be a little bit of mental warfare. We see a lot of things happen when you go into the ring. Sometimes you taunt and you get knocked down, but when you play that mental game, you have to expect another response. And you see the response right now from Samurai Robin, using the body shots, trying to open up the body so you go use the head for more damage. And it just seems like Burn just feels confident of just dipping in, dipping out, using the lane, trying to use the uppercut as much as he can.
Yeah, a bit of a slow start from Burn. As I say that, he's picking up the pace a bit there, but you know, confident, just making reads well. Samurai Robin's doing a great job of picking his spots, landing around the guard, whether it's a rear hook to the head, and a massive one lands right there, or that lead body hook as Burn focuses on protecting his face.
Yeah, 1 minute left in the first round. Already we're seeing some clean shots from both of the competitors. And Samurai Robin gets hit with a mean straight from Roy Jones Jr., but he gets able to answer back with a nice straight into a body a couple of seconds ago, and he's continuing on with that pattern, but he can't get too predictable because those left hooks will cause damage if you use a Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, definitely a big wind up to those power shots, but they also deal massive damage. As you said, double lead body hook there with a power straight out of range. You know, overall volume this round, may favor Samurai Robin, but big shots on Burns' side right there as he lands.
Yeah, but not only that, he's getting those power shots, right? He's able to get a nice counter into a straight, into an uppercut, which is like differentiating his punches pull. Like, you don't want to stay sticking with the hooks. You don't want to stay sticking with like any of the straight jabs or straight punches. You want to make sure that you have your opponent thinking about every single thing you could do, especially in the second round right here.
Yeah, absolutely. If you get too predictable just throwing those round punches, you know, the hooks and uppercuts, it opens up the opportunity for the opponent to start slipping backwards and getting massive counters, as Burn right there lands a massive straight and lead uppercut. But Samurai Robin staying true to the body attack. Oh!
You see the lean back classic, Roy Jones Jr. able to sleep Burvov. Samurai Robin needs to get up in the canvas, and he will at the 5 count. But for Burn to use the clean vintage Roy Jones Jr., that is a perfect picture of a knockdown.
Yeah, caught Samurai Robin as he was dipping with the body. You know, that power straight of Burn just touched his chin, and he was able to get up quickly, but that's going to change the story of this round. It could change the story of this fight. Now it's shifted towards 10-8 in Burns' favor as he lands another massive power straight right there.
He's getting those straights again, and now it's opened up so many other punches. The left hook coming in, but even though you got that one hit of success, you need to consistently have that success throughout the all rounds, because right now you would think Samurai Robin is answering back. He's going forward. Even though he's going to lose his 10-8, he still needs to continue on and put some damage on his opponent.
Yeah, because it can definitely help him later on in the fight as he chips away towards the head health. And it's really difficult getting past the shell of Roy Jones Jr., who's an excellent defensive fighter. Not the best chin as he eats a massive right hook to the temple right there. But Robin's doing a great job of trying to close the distance so he can try and pick his spots around the guard of Byrne, who may prefer to just be on the outside and limit the amount of damage he takes.
Yeah, and when you see, as we're approaching the 15-second mark of this second round right here, when we're seeing, like, the straight is landing very nicely, but it seems like Byrne is just trying to predict when his opponent's going to move in so he can land that perfect power straight. Do you think that could be something that Samurai Robin can look out for? Like, can it be predictable enough so you could be able to counter it in the future?
Yeah, definitely. It could be something he could try to pull if he's just out of range. Kind of slipping to the sides, a bit inconsistent in the game at the moment, but perhaps Byrne has fallen in love with that power straight a bit too much after he got that nice knockdown with it. So definitely something that Samurai Robin can try and capitalize on, even if he doesn't directly counter off of it. Oh, I see getting hit with it right there. What he could do is try to time it so he can start his offense after the stamina of Byrne is lower after he just throws such a big shot.
Yeah, and you can see him, he was loading up for another straight again. But luckily for Samurai Robin, he was able to answer back. And now he's getting some shots of his own with under 2 minutes left in this third round right here. Nice body work. The body is landing 3 straight times in a row. And I just feel like he's getting those combinations, but that power straight is just disrupting his momentum every single time.
And he has to be careful because he is throwing extended combinations, like you said, tripling up to the body and more. But that leaves your stamina low, and if that power straight lands at that moment, the odds of a drastic event occurring are heightened. And as he eats his shot, they both exchanging punches here with a minute left to go in round 3 and continuing the body attack. And we'll see if that kind of limits the stamina of Roy Jones Jr. there as he lands another massive power hook.
Yeah, you can see that health bar is already, even though it's regenerating, it lost a good chunk of its head health. So right now, Bivol, Samurai Robin, he's getting some good punches, but that straight has been an issue for him. I would just love him to go to another way, but it happens again to disrupt every little bit of sweet science that he can have. And it just seems like Byrne just feels comfortable using jab into the straight. Go to the body, nice landing uppercut when he sees him forward, but he can't take those shots because now Samurai Robin is answering back with 3 seconds left. Getting some answer shots of his own, but that head is swelling on the left side and the right side, and that is a good, excellent pack end to the round.
Yeah, and we saw real quickly there on the health stats, about 10% of Bivol's health gone, and looking at the scorecards, we can see that Byrne is in the lead, 29-27. He did pick up the second and third round with a knockdown in the second.
Yeah, and that's going to be a huge case because even though Samurai Robin has been knocked down, he lost the last round too, he's still in this. He won the first round. So whatever he was doing in the first round, it was working. But now it's up to him. Can he adapt? Can he download his opponent enough where he's not getting hit by those straights? Because that's been a money move for Byrne. Byrne is just going to his distance, waiting his opponent to come into him, and then there you go. Working the jab, working the straight. How much stamina is he using? Because that's also could be another key part of it.
Yeah, it's very true because the power shots, they do take a significant chunk of your stamina. But so far with Byrne's strategy, mostly one and done with these big shots. Maybe he'll throw a jab in front of it. So even if he does get lower on the stamina, it's still a viable strategy, especially with the game as it is right now. A bit too generous stamina-wise, perhaps, but Samurai Robin doing a good job of marching Byrne down and landing away, 2-3 pieces. Oh, but he eats a massive rear hook right there.
And another key part of it is, along with those straights, along with those power punches, do you feel like your mental goes down when it comes to like trying to extend your combinations? Like, do you try to shorten your punches as much as you can so you at least don't get caught in those trades?
Yeah, it's definitely something that Samurai Robin should consider. He does like the combos, but yeah, it leaves him open in the middle of it. So what he could try to do is perhaps throw, 2-piece, keep his block up, because right now he's just marching into those power shots. Then resume your attack once the power shot comes your way and you're hopefully able to successfully defend it. Though I do know blocking them is a bit of an issue as he eats a massive one there despite his best efforts to defend himself.
block and everything, and he still gets hit with a vicious power shot. And for Burn, it's been his fight, and Samurai Robin needs to come up with some answers really quick, because that left swelling, we saw that be a troubling spot for him to go earlier, but he was able to get some going, and also I want to say versatile as well. So what can he do here? What can he do in closer to the midpoint of this fight? Can he find the answers that he desperately needs? Because he's getting some shots, and he got a miss of the uppercut from Burn, and now he's landing. He just needs to avoid the power shot.
Yeah, and it's easier said than done, of course, but ooh, as he eats another massive round right there. 2.5 minutes to go into this round 5. The head health is an issue of, Samurai Robin. Ooh, beautiful 1, 2, 3. Extended combination from Burn there, while Samurai Robin's punches were just out of range.
Just out of range is the name of the game, and while uppercuts will land, that will do a nice bit of damage, but again, to the head, to the body, mixing up the punches as he can, because he still has a fair amount of stamina, and he's working his way through. He is punching, he is landing right now with his opponent on the ropes. Burn trying to find his way to the center of the ring, finally gets away to evade some punches, but now the barrage is still coming, but that one faithful power shot just takes all the work that Samurai Robin has done and just puts it as an even kill.
Ooh, and speaking about even kill, more than even now, as Burn tries to capitalize and get the knockdown here, going to the body as Robin is trying to cover his head.
Oh, you know what I would have loved to see? If he saw those 2 miss hooks, just go for a body shot. Just go for the head. Get some damage so you can get some respect from your opponent. Because right now, Burn is like, okay, I finally got like a stun on you. Now I can do whatever I want. I can load up these power shots and see what I can do. But look at this. These punches have to mean for something. Samurai Robin is doing such a nice job of entering into the fence, able to land some hooks, able to land a right. He just needs to land a little bit more. With 10 seconds to go, he was able to make his opponent miss the straight. He is coming in. He is working the body. That could be a big difference going to the next couple of rounds. Oh, wow, nice straight again.
Yeah, but other than that big power shot that he ate towards the end, Samurai Robin did an excellent job of defending himself after he was dazed. I'm not even sure a shot touched him other than that big one. But and speaking of the judges' scorecards, the dazes don't actually seem to be factored in. So it's possible that Samurai Robin was able to take that on volume. But, he continues his offensive here as Burn continuing with the nice regular non-power shots, just peppering away.
Yeah, and it leads with a power shot when he ever comes in. That's where the situation has been detrimental. I think we could play that on a loop of how many times he walked in thinking that he's going to have a chance to punch and just get hits with straight, and he just launches in. I just want him to, bait out, him going for the power straight. If he is able to bait that out, I feel like he'd have a little bit more success, but how much damage can you take, especially with a rocket and a knockdown already on your ledger?
Yeah, it's very difficult, but yeah, like you said, Samurai Robin definitely needs to do something and start addressing those. Ooh, nice power hook of his own. Whether that's leaning away from the power straight as it comes in, so your hands are up on the left side. It's a massive uppercut right there. Or trying to slip and time it yourself. You can't just keep marching forwards and eating it like he does there, stumbling backwards.
Stumbling back after he tried to land a 3-hit combination, and he's still marching forward. Kudos to him for still marching forward and saying, you know what, even though I'm getting hit, I'm going to hit you back. I'm going to answer with the volume and type of my punches. You can load up with those power shots, but sooner or later, it has to give. These body shots and these head shots have to work some way. But again, every time he's moving in, and the good strategy from Burn, right? He's landing that power shot, he's moving back, and then when he gets here, circle to the center and do it all over again. It's a nice pattern that you'd love to see from a boxer who's fighting with this strategy.
Yeah, definitely want to acknowledge Burn's nice movement as well, making sure he's not stuck against the ropes. But we have to see, we don't have the insight into how his bars are looking, but he is eating a lot of these regular shots. And actually in the game, the power shots, they may not do as much long-term damage as they maybe should. But, all these hooks that Samurai Robin are landing definitely chip away, and he keeps swinging away after the bell. A bit eager there, but, the referee's not going to be warning him for that.
Yeah, you definitely have to take any advantage that you can. You have to fight to the, they take you off the loading screen and put you in the corner. You can't press any more buttons. And you can see in the copy box prediction scorecard for one judges, 58-55 in favor of Burn using the Roy Jones Jr. pick. And where he has him on the ropes, he's got him on the ropes now. Samurai Robin with a good answer. but again, able to not cut the ring off. I just would love to see a punch and then just follow the movement. Go into a little bit of a dance with your opponent like he's doing right there. That's perfect. Keep him on the rope, trying to work on the body a little bit. Evade the power straight as much as you can while Burn doing a nice job with the jab, trying to answer back with 2 minutes remaining in this round.
Yeah, absolutely. Samurai Robin doesn't want to be caught just following Burn, being the bull to his matador. He did a great job, as he pointed out, of just moving laterally instead of just chasing. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to capitalize with punches. But other than that, Samurai Robin has done a decent job of using those round punches to kind of cut off Burn's exit in terms of getting damage. But unfortunately, it wasn't able to interrupt his exits. Rather, but big power straight landed on both sides right there.
Yeah, able to answer back and able to get a nice left and right hook. And you know that Burn had to get out there. He knew that he was in the danger zone. That could be another thing about it. Working to the body, working to the left hook. Trying to go for a straight of himself. Oh my goodness, that was like a tornado. He was like an all-might punch that you would see onto the face of Samurai Robin that was able to catch him, and now that head health is blinking to the right. There was a good instance of sequences for Samurai Robin, and it continues on forward, but man, that punch just changed everything.
Yeah, and very unlucky there because he did use that diagonal dodge, which normally would make you safe from the hooks, but Roy Jones, that tracking, maybe a bit of aimbot there, turned all the way and landed, and that swelling on the left side of Samurai's bivel could be a concern. But massive rear hook he lands right there.
Good stagger, but a power hook landing for Burn with the power shots, but Samurai Robin gets saved by the bell just in time. He might still have a chance to win that round, but man, oh man, 2 shots that were the key component of Burns potentially stealing that round away from him.
Yeah, definitely. And massive shots right there. And we just did notice for a brief moment that Roy Jones Jr. Burn, he does have a cut on the left eye. May have opened up in the previous round. I'm not sure exactly when, but unfortunately, there's not that much time to work on it. So Samurai Robin, he's probably down on, well, he was down on the cards, but he has to continue his aggression and hoping that he can finally begin to daze Burn more consistently as he continues eating these massive power shots.
And that has to be frustrating, right? You see those power shots loading up and you're like, oh, I see it, but you just don't move in time to get out of it. And that has to be the most frustrating thing because you can see it happening, but it just doesn't compute to the 6 skills. And you can see that head health blinking for Samurai Robin as he's trying to claw his way back into this fight.
Yeah, and it's definitely still possible for him to win on points. He's only, I think, 3 points behind on the predicted scorecards. I must emphasize the prediction part of that. And there were 4 rounds left from that point. So if he does sweep the rounds, he can win this fight. But otherwise, he may need a knockdown of his own to more than equalize things, as he needs a massive rear hook there by Burn.
Yeah, Burn still feeling confident. He's not phased by the body shots, but he's still getting land on. Both guys training in the pocket. Phone booth, 125 left into this 8th round. Both guys trying to go for a distance. You see Burn trying to load up that power shot, trying to goat his opponent in. And this is where Samurai Robin needs to be very careful. He's able to get the hooks in, but the power shot like that, once he sees an opening, he will take it most of the time. But the rope skills, 50 seconds left. Jordan Jr. is using that footwork, which I think is loose movement to this point.
Yeah, and it seems like Burn is confident in where he's at this point, just dancing around and returning fire with a couple big shots, the power straight especially. So it could be survival mode, trying not to get dazed, but I think it's also just that the sense of the action, knowing he can win this on points. He doesn't have to put himself out there and risk losing it all. But meanwhile, Samurai Robin is going to be doing his best to try and cut him off so he can lay some leather onto him.
Oh, and just like that moment, he had the left and right hook like a couple of seconds ago. But then in that situation, combinations coming out for Samurai Robin. But that one power punch, ducking under, loading up that right hand was the difference in that exchange because the damage was probably in favor of Burn. Oh, but Burn, he misses again. Samurai Robin coming in fast in this penultimate round of this contest, and again the right hook power shot lands for Burn as he's working so well towards the ropes. You usually see him go more towards the center of the ring, but it seems like he's comfortable everywhere now.
Yeah, and one big counter can definitely change the flow of the fight or the action, at least in the short term. It knocks off a lot of your head health. Bivol was in the red earlier, but it seemed the action kind of subsided for a bit, and he was able to restore his health there, but landing nice two-piece, eating another power straight. It'd be great if you could see a punch-by-punch breakdown. Unfortunately, you can't at this moment, but those power straights are definitely leaking through the guard. So I do have to acknowledge that in the game, the version as it is pretty tough to defend.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, in these situations, you have to deal with the cards that you've been dealt. In Bivol, Samurai Robin is doing his damnness to enter back in this fight. Burn doing not such a nice job. I was gonna say it was a good compliment his defensive ability, but now he's gonna hit a lot with plenty of time to go, and now he's just running for his life. He's trying to go to corner, but you can't be too far in the ropes. You have to dance around, but these hooks are not being answered, and that is it. Samurai Robin finally has the opening he wanted. He's trying to push away his opponent, but he's still hurt. Pushes him away again. He's in the corner. You don't want to be a corner right now. Body shots coming in. Oh, barrage of punches, and he survives. 30 seconds left for Samurai Robin. Oh,
Ooh.
again.
Another daze, and he's trying to get him, and he's stuck in the corner. Double push, triple push, quadruple push, but that's not enough. You can push as you like, but yeah, Samurai Robin is able to deal the knockdown blow. The katana slicing through the pushes attempted by Burn, but he gets up quickly. But it's a great point shifter right here. 2 points in favor of Samurai Robin to close out that round.
No matter how many times it feels like it's impossible, all you have to do is crawl and crawl and crawl to a chance to get back in this fight. And that is what Samurai Robin has done going to the 10th and final round. The scorecards are not in his favor, but the wins are in his cell, trying to fly into a KO victory. He is moving forward as much as he can. Burn trying to hold on to his victory, trying to hold on to his power shots. How much loose movement does he have? How much health does he have? These hooks are coming in from Samurai Robin, and he's looking to do so much damage.
And it was a trade-off. Going into loose movement definitely lets him get out of the way of these shots, but when Samurai Robin does land, they're going to be doing even more damage. And on top of that, Roy Jones Jr. does have a trait, the loosey-goosey one, which boosts the damage he does and receives as he eats a massive hook right there.
And that took every bit of stamina energy from Samurai Robin, but these punches are landing. Every one of them are landing. Ooh. And it's a rock, and it's, oh, he goes down, takes a knee. Probably a smart strategy right there, Crodon.
Yeah, definitely automatic 8 count, and the game, just lets you rise up. And another big difference is your head health, or your overall health rather, is restored to a much better point than if you had taken that additional damage and had to get up yourself. So even though he just was knocked down, he's doing decently now.
1 minute ago, you have to assume that it's a 10-8 round for Samurai Robin. He probably needs another one to even make it close. Who knows how the other judges are going to score it, but you see he is going for it. You see Burn trying to run away, cut up, bloodied up, knowing that he probably has it in the bag, and he just is able to survive. You can see the movement, trying to be loosey-goosey, uses a powerful straight, switches his stance, but we see Samurai Robin coming in. 15 seconds left. Samurai Robin is trying to find his avenue, trying to cut the ring off, but the loosey-goosey movement from Burn will leave it into the judge's decision.
Now we have to see if those 2 knockdowns he got in rounds 9 and 10 were enough to steal the decision.
Oh,
and he does!
It was! Samurai Robin was able to take it in a split decision. That's why you never leave it to the judges, and that's why you never stop fighting. Samurai Robin was down and out, was trying to find his way past the powerful punches, but 94-93, all 3 judges gave him the 9th and 10th round, and one judge had it differently. In the 5th round, and I want to say the 3rd round was the biggest difference in one of the scorecards. It was all the difference. So what a crazy fight we saw here, Crodon.
Yeah, I was thinking it possibly could have been a draw, but I didn't expect a split decision in favor of Samurai Robin, but it looks like he did enough. All the damage he's been landing eventually managed to get those drops on Roy Jones Jr. The burn that he needed. The defense, it was great. Unfortunately, just by the smallest of just fractions there, he's unable to secure the victory there.
I don't know if I want to say that's fight of the night, but that's definitely comeback of the night. Who would have thought in that situation that Robin was able to get that victory? But man, oh man, what an excellent fight to see. A lot of differentiating storylines that we saw there, Crodon. But in the meantime, I feel like we need to cool down a little bit and get ready for some other more fights. So we are going to take a quick intermission to get everything all set up. So stick with us on live Twitch on YouTube. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are back here live for ESFL Undisputed card number 2 for the exhibition side. I'm your host, Kingsley. Alongside me is Crodon. It's been such amazing fight so far. So let's not wait any further. Let's get straight into our next fight, which is going to be another exciting one and a little bit of a different kind of pace. Because right now we have Floss Esports TV going against a late-minute replacement in the Pug, who was in our first exhibition card. So look at a little bit of redemption, because I think he faced I'm the GOAT, so he had a little bit of disconnection. So another person trying to make his way back in and have a good showing with Terrence Crawford and Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah, it's a unique matchup we haven't seen so far, though we have seen the respective boxers in previous bouts. But it's interesting to see whether Floss Esports is able to maintain the outside of boxing, control of the ring and so forth, while the Pug Gaming may want to just kind of wear him down, go for the finish. But we have to see how it plays out. both of these fighters, as you can see, even just in the recent period the game has been out, they do have a decent amount of fights on their record.
For sure, and we'll have to see if that could translate into a win in this exhibition card, because Flashy Sports going with Sugar Ray Leonard. The first time we actually saw him in this exhibition card, he's been featured a lot heavily in the first one, so we'll have to see how he goes against a Terrence Crawford selection. So defensive speed going against offensive speed is the name of the game in this next fight, and I don't know much about Flashy Sports TV, but I'm hoping to show that he could wow me, maybe get a flash knockout in the first round. That'd be another crazy thing to see. We've seen towels, we've seen knockouts, we've seen like disconnections. A lot of things have been happening on this card, and I can't wait to see what the next chapter is going to be.
Yeah, we did see that. I think it was Enzo's Sugar Ray Leonard got that flash knockout against Jay
Yeah.
Jeezer. So we'll see if maybe Leonard has a nice run of luck going for him where he's able to pack some dynamite in his hands and get another KO. But I wouldn't count on it, especially with the power difference, which is definitely in Crawford's favor. So we'll see how the Pug makes use of that.
Yeah, if he has dynamite in his hands, he's gonna have to be ready for an explosion in the ring, because right now with his opponent, Flashy Sports is using the Sugar Ray Leonard in the blue and white on the left side. His opponent, the Pug, last minute replacement, uses Terrence Crawford in the gold and black on the right side. And so far, not really much movement outside the ring, but more of the center into a brawl, and Terrence Crawford getting the benefit of that counter punch.
Yeah, and after he got that counter, it seemed Flossie, kind of snapped into the outboxing mode, wanting to make sure to preserve his health. You don't want to get into extended exchanges, a bit of a ghost counter right there. But both these boxers, kind of not throwing too many extended combinations, usually 1-2, backing off and then re-engaging.
Oh my God! As soon as we said it, the flash knockout, but it's a mini game, but the perfect punch was there for Flossie Sports TV as he's able to answer the bell first in his contest.
Yeah, and I'm not sure which kind of punch it was. It may have been a power jab, though. I don't think those could get a knockdown, but, immediately resuming the action here. And with it being a flash knockdown, kind of tells you that the Pug's gaming, his head health may not be all that low. Just kind of a bad luck dice roll there, but another straight shot sends him stumbling backwards.
Now, if you're in the mind of Pug, right, you're a last minute replacement, you didn't get warmed up, you're just going in this cold. With a knockdown like that, do you try to flush it around and try to answer back like this, or do you just try to give yourself a little bit more time to like reconvene and get back in the fight?
Yeah, it's the odds of you turning the round back into your favor are very low, so you kind of have to write it off, but you could still try to do some work, maybe wear down the body health and head health as well. But definitely perhaps wiser to keep it a bit easier. Don't go so hard. The odds are against you from shifting that round. But now we're on to the second round, so you can change your fortunes here. Start anew here. And looking at the damage-wise, only 2% head health gone for the Pug and 3% stamina. So in tip-top shape.
Yeah, and we'll have to say if they could be tip-top shape with their punches, because another counter punch coming out from Pug. Pug able to get hit back and forth for another counter punch on himself. But so far, Flossie Sports TV answering the bell, answering the conversation of what he could do with his combinations. Oh, but the distance not really close to Loa with that power straight. We know that power straight has led into some very key moments for previous fighters, but combinations will always be king in this kind of sport.
Yeah, and there's a beautiful lead uppercut that just popped Crawford's head back there, with Flossie, advancing and making use of the weave, which is great to be defensively sound as we try to move away from the cameraman right there. Pug just pumping out the double jab, a bit out of range, but just gauging the reaction. Well, it seems Flossie is a bit content to fight off the back foot for now.
Yeah, it seems like he's comfortable of just peppering the jabs whenever he can. He doesn't need to force anything to just get points for like points sake. He is using this as an actual strategy of like, okay, if I get the jab, great, that's fine. Meanwhile, we see his opponent, Pug, trying to answer back with a body shot, but gets hit with a mean straight.
That's massive, big shot, in the second round. But Pug returning with a three-piece that started off with a counter. And it's interesting. Oh, nice double jab finally connects. He's been throwing that a bit out of range, so it's good if he gets his timing on that and can be a great move. Though he's just planted throwing just a bit too far out. I would like him to step in with the jab, cover a bit more ground that way. It's a massive rear hook there by Flossy Sports.
Also, I'm liking the movement of Flossy Sports too. You saw him like I think he bait out like a hook and then just like did a diagonal like step around trying to get the lean. So he's flowing with the punches like an actual boxer would do in these situations. Just moving away when he expects a punch, and it seems like it's paying him dividends, especially going to the third round. But for Pug, what do you see he needs to do a little bit more to get more of the advantage in these trades?
Yeah, he's got to be a bit more mindful of the distance. Throughout that most of that round, we saw him just jabbing out, hitting the air, shadow boxing almost like he just threw another one that missed right there. I want him to advance more. Leonard, Flossy Sports, he definitely wants to box on the outside, but right now Pug is kind of letting him do that by not kind of advancing enough with his punches. We saw a nice advancing straight right there, but you just push forward. That's what I'd recommend the Pug to do.
Yeah, he's trying to push forward, but he can't get hit with those left hooks if he wants to move forward. Is he gaining a little bit? This is a good setback, getting a nice jab, but not able to fully connect with the later part of his punches. As both guys in the center of the ring with 2 minutes as they feel comfortable. It's like a little bit of a fancy with a nice 1-2 coming away from Flossy Sports. Flossy Sports wants to answer a little bit more, but good hooks coming out. Strikes are coming out consistently, and oh,
Oh,
whoa! Oh, for Pug, he gets the knockdown, but I'll leave it to you, Crota. Oh, and that's it! What in
wow.
the world? The punch out of nowhere, and instead of Sugar Ray Leonard getting it, it's Terrence Crawford. The Pug gets the flash knockout to seal the deal.
Wow, Terrence Crawford, the Pug, restoring balance to the boxing multiverse there. You get one flash knockout, you have to give one up later on. And that seemed to be the case here with Terrence Crawford, just out of nowhere with that power straight. Unfortunate for Flossy Sports, who was doing quite well, but that's just sometimes how boxing goes.
And this is one of the times where you just need to look at the ball because everything happens at like such a fast pace. But what led to it? Was it the counter? Was it the movement? Was it the perfect distance to land that punch when he's overcommitting to like lunging forward? It's just like those minute details. And like with the game that it is, which is launch weekend, sometimes you need to take a closer look at it. But for Pug to get a victory, we said that he wanted to get another victory, especially as a last minute replacement coming back in here. It was a good showing. It was back and forth, and just both guys had the flash knockout, so it could have gone either way.
Yeah, definitely. Just the sometimes even though you try to do everything as you can, there are some things out of your control. That one punch that lands could be the one to kind of end your night, and that's what happened there. Pug was able to right his wrong and came out with a loss. Coming from the previous exhibition card, last minute replacement, as you said, was able to capitalize off of a victory. Flash events on both sides there, but that's just sometimes how the cookie crumbles.
Cookie is crumbling indeed, especially for Flossy Sports TV, who had a great showing. But we're hoping to see more great showings because, again, this is just exhibition cards. So we're just working out, trying to see what fun we can have in the ESFL because we always love showcasing all our fight games as we can. But we're going to continue on because we're going into the main event, the best part of the ESFL card, as it's going to be game over going against MBK Megatoni. And look at the lightweight division, different picks that we usually seen from before. I like it. Dalton Smith versus Kevin Kelly, and this is sure to be a nice bar burner to see.
Yeah, I'm really liking these picks as well. I've used a lot of Dalton Smith personally and Kevin Kelly. Both these guys are technical boxers with clean punch animations. Not going to be seeing too many sluggish movements on either side, but we'll have to see who can come out on top. Whether both these guys are going to just kind of play the middle of the ring and give each other a lot of respect, or whether one will decide to just push forward. Because with the lower rated boxers, although these guys do have clean animations, you do have to watch out. Your head health is lower, your block health is lower, so a few well-placed shots can really start to make things snowball.
Yeah, and that's also like another thing about like using a lower rated fighter. Like along with that, with the fighter, it's the mental ability. Because sometimes you go into like a fighting game like UFC, and you're saying like, "Oh, this guy is using a lower rated fighter. It should be an easy win if I'm using like say like John Jones against like someone who's like weaker in comparison. But it goes to the mindset like when you're facing someone in the ESFL, everyone knows how to fight. So when you see someone who's a loaded rated fighter and someone that you know is a prominent name in the game, you're like, oh my goodness, maybe he's a killer because he doesn't need the overpowered strikes from before. It goes into like another part of that mental warfare as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a psychological aspect of it because you know that your opponent is confident just walking out with that lower pick, which may put them at a disadvantage. Though it's nice to see with this matchup, both of the boxers or the players rather elected to go with kind of the lower tier boxers. Hopefully, put on a great, well matched show for us here.
And hopefully we get into the actual game because I see a little bit of stuttering. I think that's on their side, but so far in this Coco main event, we've seen what Game Over did in the last exhibition card. He put on a heck of a performance against Legacy for fun for all 10 rounds, able to get the knockdowns and everything he wanted. But for Megatoni, he's coming into this fresh. He doesn't have a past history. When you're someone who's going to get someone who just recently fought, do you look at the tape? I think we talked about this before, but do you just try to look at like little hints or little tidbits that your opponent's doing, like actually going to lab to see if it works?
Yeah, it definitely can help when you do have that footage, especially when it is so recent. The problem is if you're looking from a league fight from like a couple months back, their style could have changed. But
Mhm.
in this case, definitely could be a lot of insights you can glean from studying the film, whether it's just the combos they favor, how frequently they go to the head or body, or even just their overall preferred style. If they're going, they're trying to
So
go, yeah.
sometimes you're looking for a game to capture, but we're looking to fight to capture as we're still getting ready for other types of fights ready to go. But so far we know that it's going to be an interesting matchup when we get into the fight. But so far, when you look at the ESFL as a whole, when it comes to like these fighters, like everyone tries to sign up in the Discord says, "Oh yeah, I could do this, I could do that, I could beat him, I could be the next champion." When it goes to these exhibition cards, are you looking at this like as an update, or are you looking at this well an audition, so to speak? But are you just using this as fun? Are you just like trying to use the spotlight to your advantage when you go to a fight like this?
It's a great stage for especially some of the newer players to go and make a name for themselves. For them, I'd say it's a more of an audition where some of the veterans who've been on the scene, perhaps competed on the UFC side of things, they may be more comfortable just going out and putting on a show. So, there could be some at stake. There are open signups still out there for even people who are just viewing and haven't, were able to secure a spot on the exhibition cards we had today. But that's all to say that the roster is still very much in progress. So putting on a great show tonight could definitely secure your spot.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if you can secure a spot because everyone is watching. The staff members, the people in the community. When you have a great show and you could do some great, as it seems like they are ready to go. We're back in the fire lobby, loading up, and we're gonna see if they're actually able to be in the game, which would be great to see. But again, talking about it, it's Dalton Smith versus Kevin Kelly. Lower ranked fighters, especially in the lightweight division, we know that staples are like usually sugar rated, obviously, and they're like other differential people. What are you expecting to see in this type of contest as we're ready to get things going?
Expecting to see some technical boxing. You can't afford to slug it out as much as you can with say a Canelo or Terrence Crawford in this type of division. Your head health is lower, as we talked about before. So these extended exchanges can really spell disaster for you. Hopefully you get loaded up and loaded into this, but yeah, so you got to be, pick your shots. Nice clean boxing.
Yeah, slowly but surely, we're in it. The blast is loud, but we might have a little bit of difficulty of talking to actions, and it seems like we're getting word from the back that we're gonna ex-nay this type of contest. Unfortunately, the coverage of it is not up to snuff, so hopefully we'll get another update of what we might be doing, but unfortunately we're not able to see the full context of the fight. But Crodon, speaking as a whole, as we're still trying to figure out what we're going to be doing, as we still see the fight going, but we're going to be trying to figure out some other stuff. But Crodon, are you shocked to see 2 flash knockouts in this exhibition card? I feel like that's a rare occasion to see, but not really the biggest thing that I would have thought we would saw out of the whole exhibition card that we've seen so far.
It was definitely a surprise if you look at the amount of fights we had planned. Especially considering one canceled fight, we had 10 or so fights on the deck, and 2 of them so far went flash knockout. 20%, 1 in 5. That's definitely higher odds than usual, and we have some great fights remaining. So we'll see if we're able to bump up that flash knockout number, maybe even set a record, even though that's an exhibition card in terms
Set
of
a
the amount of
record?
flash
You want to
KOs.
set a so you're saying co-main and main event? Let's just have like people get knocked out in the first and second round. Let's just have at it. Have a lot of fun.
Yeah, you bring on the knockouts. We want to see the ragdoll. We want to see them falling all over the ring.
But you know what? Now I would say I'd be in the same camp because like when UFC 5 launched and we did like a whole ESFL card for it, I was like, give me all the Dr. Sabis. Let me see a different type of Sabis than what we usually see with the submissions or knockouts. I want to see if this actually worked. And I think we had like a record of like the doctor constantly checking and checking and checking. The fact that we got it on this card too, there's like so many ways that you could win a fight that I just love seeing like people use that to their advantage of saying like there's multiple ways to get a win.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a stoppage, with the Tyson Fury that was kind of battered, cut all over his face, the younger version, earlier in the night. Like you mentioned, many methods of victory on display. Perhaps some of them need tuning. I would love to see the flash knockouts be a bit less random. Also, with the flash days, is perhaps work into some sort of vulnerability system similar to the UFC franchise. But we have the cone main on deck, and I'm looking forward to these kind of fights.
And I think I'm gonna put you on the spot here because this is your first time being in a booth in the well, not your first time, but the first time that we're working together. You've been on another ESFL card before, but I want to put you on the spot and say, what's your prediction for this co-main event? Do you expect a stoppage? Do you think it's gonna go to the decision? I'm not gonna ask you who you think is gonna win because we're gonna be impartial. We're gonna be not biased at all, but I want to know if you have an idea. Actually, we're gonna go into the fight, so you can give your prediction in now, because the co-main event is ready to go with KYoungButta and BoneDoinWork.
Yeah, it's a tough call. It depends really who kind of is able to establish dominance in this matchup. Though I'm gonna go out on a win and say maybe we get a decision this time.
Ooh, a decision in the co-main event. Again, unfortunately, we had some circumstances that led us to this moment, but we are here and we are hyped. We thank you guys for being with us live on Twitch and on YouTube for ESFL Undisputed card number 2 for the exhibition side. I am your host, Kingsley. Alongside me is the one, the only Croton. We are excited to see so much action happening on Undisputed scene. We hope that this game grows and we have another great season in the future whenever that is announced. So be on the Discord, be on the Twitch, on YouTube, wherever you can find the ESFL. Be sure to be on the lookout and tell your friends about it, because this co-main event is going to be amazing. Tyson Fury versus Muhammad Ali. We've seen this earlier before, but it's not younger Muhammad Ali. It's wherever his prime is Muhammad Ali. So for KYoungButta BoneDoinWork, what do you expect from this type of contest?
Yeah, no, it'd be interesting. With BoneDoinWork, with his style, very technical player, and the UFC side of things, big boxing fan, as I'm sure KYoungButta is as well. So I expect BoneDoinWork to try and stay on the outside, just technically win rounds. Wouldn't call it running, but I expect him to do some outside boxing, as immediately we see that nice in and out movement, great footwork, as he just gets a bit out of range from KYoungButta's Tyson Fury.
And here we go. Co-main event again to remind you who is who. KYoungButta is in the Gypsy King black trunks in the green gloves. On the left side, doing some damage against BoneDoinWork, who is using Muhammad Ali, and he has to go down. What is that, a record time with someone getting knocked down? Are you kidding me?
That was insane. It was that power body hook that immediately just sapped all of Muhammad Ali's body health. That was insane, and then he got the drop immediately afterwards. Quite unexpected, but that could set the tone for the rest of this fight. Bone trying to get a points victory, that'll be a lot more difficult with his body health down. So I don't want to speak to him. He never went on record saying he wants to get a point victory. So perhaps we'll see him go for the KO.
Yeah, if we're getting a knockdown already, I feel like your predictions might be wrong. We might not even get to a point decision. But then, again, we saw 6 kip-ups or like rise-ups from the minigame. So who knows how this game is going to go. But BoneDoinWork, use the Muhammad Ali, work it towards the body, gets 3, 4, 5 of those attempts towards the body to dismantle the footwork and the stamina of KYoungButta, who had such an excellent job in the main event in our last exhibition card for Undisputed. He's looking to put out a dominant performance and already in the even kill with under 1 minute to go.
Yeah, Kang had a great showing against Job. Ultimately lost that, but even late in the fight, he was getting knockdowns. That was a great banger of a fight there. But you see BoneDoinWork going to the body, even tripling 4 times, 5 times with the lead body hook. It's a bit of a perhaps ill-devised decision given the slow animation speed that Ali has. Not really a proficient body puncher, but we'll see how it plays out as KYoungButta continues walking forwards and has control of the ring.
Yeah, it seems like a difference in styles, right? Right now you see KYoungButta, he's trying to box his opponent. Meanwhile, BoneDoinWork is trying to scrap his opponent. It seems like there's two differentiating styles. We see that whatever BoneDoinWork is trying to do, he's trying to do it, and he's trying to do it scrappy where he gets enough damage, and if it lands, it hits. If it misses, then oh well, we move on. But for KYoungButta, it seems like he wants to work the jab. He wants to work the body. He wants to see the openings as much as possible in this contest.
Yeah, definitely, stepping forward, but working with that jab, we did see him double up to the body as well, and that is how he got the daze early in round 1, which came as a bit of a surprise. But we're continuing to just go jab away at one another, a bit out of range. Bone, even though he's on the ropes, he's using some nice footwork to just kind of make a whiffs happen. Though in this case, both of them are just hitting air.
Yeah, and at least if he's missing, he's making his opponent miss. He's not trying to get himself caught in the ropes. Another key thing is using that footwork where you're not in this corner. And if you're going to bring your opponent in, just work on the body, and those shots are coming in. 3 of them landing for BoneDoinWork. Meanwhile, KYoungButta trying to answer back, but the power shots coming in. And, if you have Muhammad Ali and you use a loose movement, why not? Let it fly. Let's see what actually sticks and lands, and maybe you can put that in the bank for future rounds.
And we're seeing that lead body hook, perhaps the most landed weapon of BoneDoinWork so far. But earlier we did see him land a nice power jab to kind of keep KYoungButta at range. Though that time his offering fell a bit short as he's countered to the body, and that's gotta hurt.
It has to hurt, but again, it's a war of attrition. 10 rounds to go in his co-main, and you can see the punches coming now for KYoungButta, working the body into the head. And so far, with 25 seconds to go, punches are coming in, using that distance perfectly, again at range. And that's something that I think BoneDoinWork needs to be careful of, because now he's missing and he's getting punished for it.
Yeah, he has to be careful, maybe change up his approach. Oh, and as I say that, he does land a nice power straight, but his body health sitting at about 55%, but the round ends, and that was how he's dropped, as I mentioned earlier. But 88% stamina, 91% health, not too shabby at all. He's still in this fight, and Muhammad Ali, especially as the game is now, he definitely packs a punch, arguably more than he should, but he's definitely could get a daze of his own as we get a couple ghost punches there, unfortunately.
Yeah, it seems like it's 20% float like a butterfly and 80% sting like a bee. He wants to sting his opponent with some powerful punches, but right now taking a little bit of the outside of this 3rd round right here, while KYoungButta is trying to march down his opponent, trying to work the body, but able to make a miss. It gets a nice counter shot and a nice hook for his shovels, connecting with 5 straight punches, maybe 6, 7, 8 of them. He is not missing. He is making it look like Steph Curry in the Paris Olympics.
And it's great timing there by KYoungButta's Tyson Fury. It looks like he's throwing a lot, but he's biding his time. Small pauses where he's able to recoup his stamina. Where on the other hand, BoneDoinWork kind of depleted his gas tank and was caught by the body shot that kind of started the sequence. And right now, his head health isn't looking too great, but KYoungButta continuing to pressure him against the ropes. So BoneDoinWork is doing a decent job of not getting stuck in any particular corner, but he's got to land more as he's trying to fire back now, a bit out of range right there.
Yeah, a bit of range, but that goes to the testament of KYoungButta's defense, because right now he has a head held blinking red right now. No cuts, power shots missing from BoneDoinWork. BoneDoinWork still staying in the corner. I don't know if I like this for him. He needs to circle around, get the center so he can have that distance game. But right now, body shots, let it. Oh my god, combinations coming in heavy from BoneDoinWork, using a lot of that stamina with 33 seconds to go. Oh, good stuff, back and forth. It's a Donnybrook in the center of the ring, and we're all having fun right now.
And that was interesting. It looked like BoneDoinWork was about to be stumbling backwards, but no, he returned back with a power straight. But earlier he was going against the corner. I'm not sure if he's trying to rope a dope like Muhammad Ali against George Foreman, but Tyson Fury isn't tired enough for that to be too effective as a strategy, as KyoungButta lands a nice uppercut and he closes out the round in his own corner. BoneDoinWork won't have to make a big trip to the stool, but he may need a nice rest as down 20% of the stamina. That's could be big.
It could be very big, especially just going to the fourth round. And you can see Muhammad Ali, he's very attentive. Both guys are very attentive. So not a lot of stamina being used right now, but it'd be very interesting to see what the CompuBox prediction scorecard for one of our judges is going to be. Because you have a feeling they might be going to KyoungButta as it is 30 to 26, especially with that knockdown in the first round. But I was wondering if BoneDoinWork getting some punches here and there might have lead them get around. But again, as we saw with a split decision, anything's possible, but so far it's all KyoungButta's fight.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see if BoneDoinWork tries to change up his strategy, and it does look now he's spending less time against the rope. Though, eating a few shots there, he may want to let himself recover some health, but he's throwing a few more hooks there to the head, not just to the body, as we saw for most of the fight. But you have to change things up. It's still early, only 3 rounds down, and like you said, the judges could be wrong, but nice approach by KyoungButta, defensively sound.
Yeah, and he's working. Oh, I mean, making a miss, going silly with the punches and working the body as much as he can. But once he gets a little bit too conscious, it seems like he's getting hit. He gets a little bit of a stun animation. I don't know if that really connected for BoneDoinWork, but BoneDoinWork still marching a little bit forward with his punches, but seeing fairly amount of the outside contest. Oh my goodness, body shots landing, able to answer back. Both guys answering, exchanging punches on the side.
Yeah, and there's nice damage there done to BoneDoinWork's head. Oh, and as speak, another hook lands and chips away. He's halfway. He's trying to slip in the pocket, but he may be better off trying to back off a bit, letting his head health kind of recover. But KyoungButta is not letting off the pressure, backing him into a corner. Big body shot as he dodges backwards out of the way. And another double
Oh
counter.
my goodness. Stepping up back, hit him with a nice clean shot. BoneDoinWork is feeling the pressure, but will it burst his pipes as that punches lands? But okay. And he's still staying on the road. I don't know. Like this corner right here, if he stays in here, he's going to get pieced up with 15 seconds. Because right now, KyoungButta is feeling all the confidence in the world. He might not see the bar, but he has to know that all these punches have to be landing and have to be landing some substantial damage.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a risky strategy from Bone, especially being the shorter fighter. Staying in the pocket and weaving backwards, leaning backwards can be effective when the height is even or you have the advantage. But, Tyson Fury's long arms can definitely reach him, even though he may think he's safe. And we're seeing that with the head health and body both kind of worn down a bit, 20% gone, 80% head health remaining for BoneDoinWork.
Yeah, and we're approaching the halfway mark. 10 rounds for this co-main event spot for ESFL Undisputed Exhibition card number 2. Your host Kingsley right here, Crodon right next to me, calling this amazing fight as we're looking at it into the 5th round. As KyoungButta got a knockdown in the first round, but BoneDoinWork using the Muhammad Ali, still playing on the outside, still has his head health, still fairly decent, but using a lot of that stamina and whiffing on a certain amount of his punches.
Yeah, KyoungButta is doing a great job this round. He's not getting hit and he's landing a lot. And nice power straight there. But look at that
Ooh,
phantom hook there.
ooh! If you hit hard, Tyson Fury hits harder, and KyoungButta is marching forward, trying to run forward, using the hooks as much as he can. And now with plenty of time left, 150 in the 5th round, BoneDoinWork is trying to survive as much as he can with his strikes, but KyoungButta is on a warpath.
Yeah, it can be hard to tell how your opponent is doing health-wise. It's a bit of a black box, but once they have that massive reaction when it comes to getting dazed, you're doing great work. And KyoungButta is looking forward to try and put BoneDoinWork on the ground.
And he's trying his best. Oh, but needs to be careful. Those punches were landing in succession. 3 of them hit out of the 4 for BoneDoinWork. And he's using a little bit of rope-a-dope. Using the jab, trying to bring his opponent inside, but miscalculates the power punch. It suffers heavily for it with the punches in the head, health, and body just get depleted to the halfway mark. And again, KyoungButta is hitting with some strikes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if BoneDoinWork lost a bit of its composure there or he's just trying to slug it out, but unfortunate sequence on his part, missing a lot. And KyoungButta getting these counters off with the head and body of Bone getting battered. But it doesn't look like he's going to be dropped this round, though. There's still over 10 seconds or just under 10 seconds left to go as we close out this 5th round.
Never say never as it's go to the 2-second mark and a nice hook as BoneDoinWork trying to get some action after the bell, but man, oh man, what a round makes. The first round and that previous round, the fifth round, were clean for KyoungButta. And it seems like with BoneDoinWork, again, it's the scrappiness. It's his willing to exchange and use all of his stamina. Right now, you can see him, he's staying towards the ropes. He's staying towards the corner. And I feel like with KyoungButta, he's fine with this kind of strategy from BoneDoinWork.
Yeah, it definitely plays into his favor with that reach advantage. He's able to pick his shots, back off when he wants to regain his stamina. And ooh, big counter right there. And the big thing is he's able to weave backwards and get those counters off when Bone is out of range with his punches. And we see that head health. Ooh, wild swing there from Bone, just hitting the sky.
And that's not the first time that we've seen that wild swing. It seems like from the get-go, he's been using it. It's been whether if it could stick, it could land, I could use it for later, but every time KyoungButta goes into the phone booth with him, goes into the body, it just lands with precision, and then it just leaves you all asking questions like, okay, if he's punching me in the body, do I go for the head? Do I use it an uppercut? I don't think we've seen one uppercut to the head for BoneDoinWork. Maybe he uses that for like an element surprise because body shots are working. These counter shots are working, but KyoungButta is just answering back and using his stamina correctly.
Yeah, ooh, picking his shots. And speaking of uppercuts, he lands one himself with a nice jab to rear uppercut combo. The head health of Bone going down, and he's trying to dance his way away. About a minute left to go in the round. KyoungButta pressuring forward with a nice double jab, though. Second one had whiffed.
Yeah, and a good hook from BoneDoinWork. He was able to land in that situation, but the body shots leaving out of the pocket will work well for KyoungButta, but KyoungButta sees his opponent. Oh, gets hit with a power shot. Will he go for more body? But BoneDoinWork had a chance, but a sweet counter shot with a right hook brings him down as KyoungButta gets the second knockdown of the fight.
And yeah, it's looking kind of bad and bad on both sides for Bone. Whether it's on the defensive end, he's getting hit a lot. Offensively, he's not landing a lot either. But there's still time for him to mount a comeback, though it's very difficult. His head health kind of approaching that orange territory. Perhaps 80% or 75% head health remaining. KyoungButta definitely in the lead as we go into the 7th round. And look at those scorecards.
Clean sweep, like a full deck of cards, and it's all aces for KyoungButta. He's saying that he is known to be in the main event. He deserved that main event going against Joe. It was just a back and forth fight, but now he's proven that no one else can be on my level. BoneDoinWork is trying to do his damnness to fight against KyoungButta, but every time it goes in to this jab, to the body, it's been working so damn well for him. And I don't know if you're BoneDoinWork, like, what do you do to capitalize on like any type of success? Because it seems like he gets one glimmer of hope, but then it gets automatically shut down when KyoungButta feels like he's under pressure.
Yeah, he has to try, and his best shot is trying to time the combinations of KyoungButta, trying to go on the front foot once his stamina is depleted, though of course that's hard with the combos that he's managing. As they're both slugging away there. But just try and get him while his stamina is low for that boosted damage. But you can't be letting yourself get hit like this, as he's backed himself up into a corner again, trying to circle out, but KyoungButta is doing a decent job of not letting him regain control of the center.
Yeah, and it's those sneaky body shots, right? It's not just the head hits, because it's working well with those head hits, but those body shots in the middle of a combination, in the middle of the exchanges will change things. But BoneDoinWork has a glimmer of hope, had the right shot, gets another right hook on his opponent's face, tries to use uppercut, gets punished on the body with 30 seconds left in the 7th round right here. And KyoungButta still not dissuaded, still not discouraged, still keeping confident.
Yeah, he's picking his shots very well. We saw Bone try to weave backwards, and that just let him eat a big power body hook, as he did another one right there to the body. KyoungButta continuing to box as the round comes to a close. It seems he's not content that he's just up on the cards, clean sweep rather. He wants to press on this dominance, continue, perhaps even go for a finish. But as somebody in the chat, MMA Fro, was wishing there'd be a cut that appears on Tyson Fury's face, KyoungButta does have a cut on his left eye, and that's a possible path to victory for Bone.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to answer with that power right hook, right? That kind of stunned a little bit of Tyson Fury. If he's able to go to man, but look at that stamina. anytime he goes for like a straight or maybe a power shot, he's already depleting 90% of his stamina. So the fact that he could still use loose movement, I'm shocked that he's able to keep it up at this point. But Tyson Fury, KyoungButta sees the open, like those moments right there, gaining the right distance, working towards the body, and now Ali cannot even use the loose movement. He has to work on just perfecting his outside punches because his area of winning is becoming smaller and smaller.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that he's in flat-footed mode, he's not only can he not use loose movement, but his base movement speed has been dropped, using that old school animation walking around. But so KyoungButta is going to be able to, cut off the ring even more effectively as he eats a nice body cook there, landed by Bone. And a power shot, it's a bit of hope there. Perhaps this is a good for Bone, not being able to just walk away all the time, forced to slug it out and have a glimmer of hope.
Who knows? I mean, being flat-footed, I think he might need a rabbit's foot to be back in this contest because right now he just needs a lucky shot to answer back against the barrages of KyoungButta because with 40 seconds left, he wants to get another knockdown. He sees it, but he's not going to over-pursue it. He knows that what he's doing is working really well. He can take the shots as much as he can. He just needs to protect the left side. He just needs to protect that cut, and the cut man will get to it in 15 seconds. But a straight like that will work really nicely. But he used a lot of stamina. He's trying to go for the bronzes, trying to set back, get the landing shot, but not able to get BoneDoinWork. Trying to cover up with 3 seconds to go as KyoungButta, man, he has BoneDoinWork in dire straits going to the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, and that was great timing by KyoungButta. He didn't want to leave the judges with a bad taste in their mouth. Seeing Bone do great to close it out, he made sure to press forwards and shift it back. Well, he was dominating for most of the round, but he made sure to start and end it on a positive note for himself. Meanwhile, BoneDoinWork, his head health is low, body health a bit better, but still a possible area of concern. That cut is looking a bit gnarly on KyoungButta's left eye with his Tyson Fury, but he should be good. The referee hasn't even stopped to check it once, so potentially not too much of a reason for concern, but like you said, he should make sure he guards it well.
Well, the Gypsy King is going to have the best cut man in this corner, so that cut is going to be disappearing in a moment's notice. But as soon as one punch comes in, it might be gushing out. Oh, but an uppercut like that will be gushing out some damage and pain against BoneDoinWork, as BoneDoinWork still trying to gain a little bit of distance, trying to evade KyoungButta's punches as much as he can. But there's still plenty of time. Even though it's on a little bit of an accelerated clock, he needs to find a way. And that uppercut landing perfectly onto the body, onto the face. A barrage of punches. Everything is blinking for BoneDoinWork.
It could be the end. And even a push there from KyoungButta trying to force him against the rope. And big power shot. We did see BoneDoinWork switch to a southpaw, which is interesting. Perhaps trying to work his jab up against that cut of KyoungButta. But big danger, but Bone lands a nice power straight right there.
Nice power straight. That's one of his 4 moments that he had with a succession like that. But KyoungButta staying in the center, moving in, knowing that he has a stamina advantage, and towards the body, he will get it. And another straight, going for double back-to-back power shots. Ali is trying to do it his damnness, but the uppercut landing, that head health is barely hanging on, barely a sliver left as he's trying to move forward, working the body, working a past the missed shots, and with 30 seconds left to go, will we see a knockdown here?
Bone is doing some nice footwork. Earlier, we did see him reverse position, going from his back to the rope to taking the center, but 10 seconds left to go. His head and body are in bad condition. KyoungButta is trying to press forward. Bone should be able to make it to a I may have spoken too early, and one big shot could seal this.
One big shot is all he needs. It seems like it's been one big shot for the last 4 rounds with KyoungButta. A clean sweep, 90-79 on one of the judges' scorecards on our predicted CompuBox scorecard that we saw in the lower third right there. And use credit to BoneDoinWork. He's still fighting. He's still going for power shots, but I don't know if your prediction is going to be right, but it's a 50-50 chance right now because KyoungButta is going for it. He has to imagine that his opponent can't land any shots, but he can land shots like that as KyoungButta is still moving forward.
Yeah, it's tough. We never know if the flash knockout will rear its face again, but that big power straight landed by KyoungButta has Bone backing up. His head health is practically a sliver or even less on that bar there.
There it
Wow.
is. There's the stun. That's the uppercut. And Timber goes Ali as BoneDoinWork needs to find a way to get back up as KYoungButta gets this third knockdown, excuse me, in this contest. 7, 8, he got a little bit tricky. 9, he won't get up to his feet as KYoungButta gets the KO in the co-main event.
And 1-1, he didn't get the victory last time out, but he showed the levels to this in the second occasion, going up against BoneDoinWork, and really kind of proving once again, even in the losing performance, we had a lot of positives to take away from his game, but KYoungButta sealing the deal with a 10th round KO.
It was a great, strong showing throughout. A clean sweep throughout all 3 judges. I mean, it goes to the fact that not only was he using Tyson Fury, but it was just the striking, the being able to stay patient. He had 73% of his strikes land onto Ali, land onto BoneDoinWork, and that's going to the point I made before. It seemed like KYoungButta was fighting like boxing, and his opponent was being scrappy. He had heart, and he was trying to do his best to stay in a fight with his pure heart.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine that Bone would have liked to play more, technically be the one who's putting on a great boxing performance, but KYoungButta took an early lead, and he showed us why he had that main event spot last time out and why he's the co-main today. Definitely a boxer player in this league to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, and it's going to be absolutely amazing to see where the future lies in our next contest and in the future of Undisputed, because it's only the launch weekend of Undisputed in the full game, and I can't wait to see how it goes on. But live and on Twitch and on YouTube, everyone around here who are fight fans, it is time for the main event. It is EK Warrior going against EK Mixups in a lightweight main event bout, which whoever wins this will get bragging rights when they go back to the Elite Kings. And Crowdown, when we take a big look at this main event, we know these guys are friends, we know that these guys are campmates, but when it comes to that ring, when it comes to the main event, there are no friends when it comes to getting the victory in this main event spot.
Yeah, both of these guys will be looking out to put on, great performance for themselves, even though they're campmates. Perhaps they even had a lot of sparring sessions, but you got to leave that all behind. Definitely take, the insights that you've gained, but they're definitely not going to be holding back. It's definitely a great opportunity for them to showcase their skills.
Yeah, and it's shocking to say that we have a Sugar Ray Leonard going against a Terrence Crawford. We saw the last time what happened when they both faced. It was a flash knockout in the early part of the prelims of this exhibition card, and it was a flash knockout in the middle of this card. Will it be the same in our main event? Will we see a crazy knockout to finish a deal? Or will we see a burnout, a war, a 10 rounds in this main event? EK Warrior on the right side using Terrence Crawford, and on the left side, it is EK Mixups using Sugar Ray Robinson. Not Leonard, but Robinson. What is the difference between the Robinson and the Leonard pick going into this contest?
Yeah, whereas Sugar Ray Leonard is more of an outboxer, stats-wise, though he's shown he could scrap in some of his fights. Sugar Ray Robinson, the arguable greatest of all time in boxing, well-rounded. He's great everywhere. Stats, probably hard-pressed to find a stat that's below 92 rated here. So he can do it all. And going up against Bud Crawford, who's another well-rounded person, but in a bit of a disadvantage ratings-wise, other than perhaps the power department. But you can see a bit of a height difference as well. But both of these fighters, they have a lot of avenues for victory. So it'd be interesting to see how Mixup and Warrior really choose to play this.
The stage is set. The fighters are ready to go. The punches are being thrown. This is your main event of ESFL Undisputed card for the exhibition side, number 2 of the weekend. I am your commentator, Kingsley, alongside Ms. Cronon for this main event 10-round fight. And again, to set the stage, EK Warrior on the right side using Terrence Crawford. On the left side, it's EK Mixups using Sugar Ray Robinson. They're already a different kind of pace when it comes to this fight. Trying to use some power shots, trying to go to the body. Both guys using their footwork very defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. In some of the other fights we've seen, one player would be more of the footwork user, more proficient in that term, But over here, we see both of these players going in and out. They're very well matched, looking so far, but nice lead hook there landed by EK Warrior.
Yeah, you can see EK Warrior pushing up the pace as much as he can, trying to get in the face of his opponent, able to land some combinations, but a body shot will be answered by Mixups. Mixups doing a little bit of outside fighting, getting that loose movement going on his side, and able to answer with 2 shots of his own onto the body. A different type of chase that is compared to EK Warrior, as EK Warrior needs to get out more into the grill of his opponent.
Yeah, it seems that now they've kind of settled into their respective roles so far. EK Mixups more content to go on the outside, like you pointed out. That loose movement would be great for him to circle around and avoid the shots as he lands a nice body shot. Ooh, and big power uppercut. Big power uppercut misses, and then followed by another miss by EK Warrior.
Yeah, it's not going to be as fast as the punches you want to be, especially for the power shots. But you can see him loading up, and these guys are too good to be looking for that load up shot and standing there. They're going to be able to move around, especially with the speed that both these fighters have. But end of the first round, both guys going for it. Both guys are swinging in the center as the cameraman is excited to get in front of the action as well. But second round coming in, a little bit more of a filling out process than we expected.
Yeah, you know, we did see both these guys bouncing in and out with their footwork. It's hard to call a round like that because no one was really able to establish themselves. Perhaps slightly leaning towards mix-up, but who knows? It starts off with a nice body lead hook right there.
And just like the world is online for this ESFL fight, we are online ready to go and see how things are going to be swinging, because right now Mixups able to go to the left-right side of the face of Terrence Crawford, while Warrior still keeping his distance. Still being patient, not really over-committing to any type of shots, using those jabs to open up his opponent as he's able to get the left and right hook. Once again, make it 2, and then he's trying to answer back. Both guys are swinging right now in the phone booth, and the power shot lands to the body.
Yeah, a lot of hooks thrown, but a power jab to mix things up by EK Mixups. Big power straight there. You know, showing we're not all hooks. They both guys are throwing down, straight down the pipe and landing.
Yeah. Landing indeed, and with 140 left in the second round, both guys are trying to stand apart with the straight that lands for Mixups. Mixups taking his way back, not really staying there to get countered back in. Oh, but needs to be very careful. Jabs landing in for Warrior, but not able to get the full extent of it as he is able to get countered. But those left and right hooks, they are landing and soar to the body. Had the pattern of the 1 and 2 with the hooks, but goes to the body right after it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Mixup is just lowering and raising his block, or he's trying to beckon EK Warrior forwards. But really interesting to see if that gets, engages EK Warrior into more of a slugfest, trying to play his game, as Mixups for the most part is fighting on the outside.
Yeah, and he has to fight more on the outside. He has the speed, he has the length of it, while Warrior trying to answer back, but gets hit with a nice, good right hook on his face. But the body shots, you can hear the impact that you're hearing right now as we're getting closer and closer to the end. But 1, 2, 3 of them landing again. EK Mixups landing some consecutive shots to end that round.
And it was that big counter hook at the end that really set the tone for that. But as we see over here, Sugar Ray Robinson by Mixups, a pretty bad cut over that right brow.
Yeah, vicious cut, and you have to think the combinations in the body led to the opening of his head, but he's able to still be in this fight. But loading up like that is not going to help him out any further, as EK Warrior is stepping in, casually trying to find a way. Good body into a left hook to answer the problems. Oh, but not getting a bleed through on that blockade. Oh, but combinations coming in. Warrior gets some successes 3 straight times in a row, but needs to be very careful.
He's having great success with his lead hand, though. He's letting some shots come through in return from Mixups. We see that head health in the orange area right there as he eats another lead body hook there. Both these guys sometimes content to slug it out, but we saw Mixups retreat intelligently from the pocket there.
Now we saw Mixups time it right with the right hook with the power. Oh, but the power! He leaned in too early, and he got capitalized with a power shot. And now EK Warrior, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna find his opening? He has his opponent on the ropes, trying to claw in further. Gets the body. Oh, but a stunner, caught him stone cold as it's back and forth. Both guys hitting again, and this is what you want to see in the action of a main event.
We had a daze, and now both of them are stumbling all over. Stumbles so frequently You have to imagine that one of these guys will be hitting the mat soon if they continue up at this pace. It's crazy. Just a minute left into round 3 and power still being thrown. They haven't shied away from the action here.
They haven't shied away, and neither has the audience, as they're seeing one hell of a brawl from both of these competitors. The EK Warrior staying in the center with Terrence Crawford. Tries to get that swinging right hook in, able to get the left, but Mixups taking more of the center now. Needs to be very careful of how much of these trades he's letting in, but he's able to get it nice. This is where he had success last time in the earlier rounds, but he's just gonna leave it be and close it out as we go into the 4th round in the corner.
Yeah, it's interesting. It did look like he had the better of that exchange, but don't want to be risking it too much. It'd be interesting to see how the scorecards look as well as we enter the 4th round.
Yeah, it seems like EK Mixups had the 1st round, but the 2nd and 3rd round went in favor of EK Warrior as he is charging for it with the Terrence Crawford, trying to take a little bit more of the outside, able to get a nice 1-2 to the face of EK Mixups. Mixups trying to answer back, sees the power, able to disrupt that counter shot from Warrior.
And
Warrior still, go ahead, Chrono.
Sorry, yeah, the big power hook landed there by Mixups as he advances with a nice body shot right there. But both these guys just throwing back and forth, not really taking turns, not so polite, but you can leave politeness at the door when you step into the boxing ring. 2 minutes to go and a big miss right there by Mixups. So maybe needs a better sense of the range.
You can keep your friendships outside of the door. When you enter that ring, you have nothing to do but hurt your opponent. And that's what Mixups is doing with a vicious right hook. Trying to answer back with a power shot. And I able to get it. You hear the impact of those uppercuts coming in from Mixups. Mixups taking a little bit of a breather. Warrior trying to answer back with a power shot of his own. Trying to come back in, brawling as they take a 1 step in. They go back in with an exchange.
A nice double jab there from EK Warrior, but it's interesting with Mixups' approach. It seems sometimes he comes out doing better in these exchanges, though he backs off a tad. But perhaps a bit overly cautious. A nice power hook he lands there.
And right now, under the minute, under the 40, Mixups, Warrior, still going toe-to-toe. And there's only part, oh, but a huge mix by Warrior. Warrior trying to find his way back, but Mixups finding some good answers, but needs to be very careful. He needs to watch out for his cut, but the swelling is huge. Oh, but another one to the left of the head. Halfway mark of the head gauge as we're 5 seconds allowed. Who is going to get that definitive blow? And it seems we won't see it as we go into another round, but the right hook landing for EK Mixups.
Yeah, both these players just slugging out hooks as that round came to an end, doing big damage. But I'd like to see some more defensive maneuvers. Try and slip backwards. It can be tough at the time, especially with the net code as it is. But if you can get the counters off, that'll do massive damage and put you up in the fight.
We are at the halfway point of this main event fight. Bragging rights is on the line with EK Warrior using that Terrence Crawford, ducking away from that powerful punch from EK Mixups, using the Sugar Ray Robinson, trying to avoid as many body shots as he possibly can. But you can see the patience is coming in, but a hook like that to the body will kind of put on the pressure onto Mixups.
Yeah, definitely. If it saps away a large portion of your body health, you don't want to be in exchanges. But oh, massive combination right there by EK Mixups, starting off with that stumble.
I was wondering if that uppercut was going to land, but it just missed. I felt like that could have been another stunning opportunity for EK Mixups as he's trying to approach forward, watching the 1s and 2s, trying to make sure he leans out of the way. Well, meanwhile, Warrior coming in, still swinging with that left hook, knowing the cut is on the right side of Sugar Ray Robinson's face. That could be a way to get back in this fight, because now the swelling, the health is getting lower and lower for EK Warrior.
And a lot of simultaneous punching here, that leaving both boxers at risk as he stumbles backwards. Another one, three-piece lands.
Three-piece lands, and a story is on the side, ready to drink up for a victory as EK Mixups trying to find his way back in. He doesn't know what his opponent has. The poker face needs to come in correct, but another three-piece for Mixups.
Yeah, I would say I wanted some more jabs, but the way these guys are both exchanging, perhaps weave backwards. You got to do something to address those hooks, because that's been the main weapon landing and doing a lot of the damage, as we see a double hook combination from Mixups landing on the block and an uppercut that whips.
Yeah, but Warrior not whipping any more of his punches. Able to land, I want to say, 6 straight against Mixups, but Mixups with a powerful one to end the round, and we will go into round 6. And I'll be interested when we go into round 7 how the scorecards are going to look, because with that cut busted up, it seems like Mixups is having some success with his combinations.
Yeah, but EK Warrior definitely liked how he closed out that round. They're very eager to keep the action going. Didn't notice the bell had rung. And then we enter the 6th round. Both these guys a bit out of range. We'll have to see if the jab gets incorporated a bit more. Not too much body work, though. As I say that, Warrior did go for one right there.
He did go for one. As you see the counter punching, blinking lights were able to pop up for one of comparison. Oh, an uppercut landing through the block of EK Warrior. EK Warrior trying to enter back, trying to go for power. They timed it right, but EK Mixups was able to get the first strike in. 2:15 left in the 6th round. Powerful shots are trying to be attempted, but will they land? We will still have to find out.
Yeah, you guys are very committed to some of these big shots, though they're not always landed. Perhaps gotta go for the lighter shots as we saw there, though. Power, ooh, massive 4-piece combination there for EK Mixups.
That was a clean shot from Mixups. He saw the opportunity. He was able to punish with 3 key shots with a jab and a straight. Meanwhile, Warrior able to disrupt a powerful shot, working towards the body, and that's a way to answer back with some of the comments.
Yeah, we saw a nice interruption there. Stopped him in his tracks, but not there, as a nice power rear hook lands another one, going back to back, trying to get a knockdown. Wow, tripling up, and he gets a taste.
The blockade is low, and a knockdown is there. EK Mixups bring his opponent down, and now it's up to Warrior. Can he do the minigame? How fast can he do it? A little bit of a 6 count, but still good enough to get back up. But now that changes the whole face of this competition.
Yeah, puts a lot of pressure on you, because look, the head health is still low. You want to come out engage, you want to ride out. It looks like the round is close enough to where you can kind of return to your stool, but EK Warrior is not doing a safe job right now, just going forward and eating shots.
Yeah, and this is not what you want to do, especially going into the 7th round. That copy box is going to give Mixups a 10-8 round there, and every time we see that cut, it's like, just target the cut, just target the cut. And you see that the judges are not seeing enough action from EK Warrior, because it's 55-58 in favor of EK Mixups in one of the judges' scorecards. So what does EK Warrior have to do in these ongoing rounds to make it convincing? Something like that, like a nice counter straight?
Yeah, for sure. As you see, he's kind of moving forwards now more, throwing more volume, can't let Mixups dictate the action as much, and he's having more success this way, but he has to watch out so he doesn't get caught by those triple hooks, so he lands a nice 2-piece of his own.
Good 2-piece, but it will be answered with a power shot from EK Mixups. Mixups still playing a little bit of the outside. Crawford trying to Joe in, but he can't get the powerful shots. That's the 3rd time that I've seen that in this contest, where he loads up that powerful shot and he just gets disrupted again with some quick combination.
Ooh, and another rear power hook landed there by Mixups. I would like to see more of that leaning back by EK Warrior. Try and stop, block them, get your combinations going off, but ooh, nice.
Ooh, oh, that was a clean, that was 4. He started with the power, but the jab, 2 jabs into a straight, got him a chance to get a knockdown of his own, working towards the body, creeping in, trying to avoid the pushes. He has 1 minute to work with, but he's able to survive Mixups, doing a nice stuff defensively.
It can be difficult to get past the pushes, a bit too much reach, and the referee doesn't seem to care about them in this state of the game yet, but massive rear hook landed there by EK Mixups.
EK Mixups knows the right way to answer back, but Crawford still has enough stamina to work on that left cut. He just needs a little bit more with 20 seconds left before we go to the 8th round. He needs to do a lot more damage to the 7th round right here. Oh, but a nice cook, nice power straight from Mixups. Mixups trying to do a definitive thing to get the round, and he gets a stud right there. 30 seconds left. Uppercuts landing. A sliver of that sunbar was still alive to keep Warrior standing up in that 7th round right there, Chronon.
Yeah, that was very close. That would have been massive for EK Mixups, though he's already seems to be leading on the points. It's unfortunate he was unable to capitalize on that, but it's a nice shift in momentum. He did get dropped earlier, so or no, rather, he was dazed earlier, but he's able to get a daze of his own as we enter the 8th round. Nice triple lead hand combination there.
Triple hand combinations are working really well for Mixups. He has his opponent hurt, but he got hurt himself in the last round. Warrior coming in with a left hook of his own. The Vodka War was right there, but not able to capitalize. Oh, gets a nice right. Oh, but a stunning move and a right hook. Mixups! Can he get it center of the ring and brings him down with a body shot of his own, as that's the second knockdown for EK Mixups.
Yeah, Mixups with a mix-up of his own to get past the defenses of Crawford there. But EK Warrior did a decent job getting up at the 8th count around there. But, 2 knockdowns so far, and points are being even more lopsided. He's going out to try and reverse his fortunes.
Time is running out to collect your fortune and get a victory for EK Warrior. The block is low. The head health is low. Mixups is landing, and what Warrior needs to do is find a way to bottle off that last round and make some kind of a difference, because under 1 minute, Mixups wants to go for that winning shot. He wants to go for that knockout blow, but Warrior needs to have a heart of a warrior. He wants to get back in, and a body shot will start the action for him.
And we can't forget about that cut that formed a lot earlier on EK Mixup's right eye. It could be something that perhaps EK Warrior is targeting, but as he eats a massive rear hook.
Again, he goes for a power shot of his own. He is fighting to the what's it? Both guys missing, and a body shot like that for the 3rd time in a row. EK Warrior goes down, and will this be it? He had trouble with the second intermission, went to the 8th count. It's gonna be close. This might be it. EK Mixups gets the knockout to win the main event.
Great showing between the 2 campmates. Ultimately, EK Mixups Sugar Ray Robinson got the knockdown out of those power rear hooks. Really set the tone, doing massive damage. And ultimately, the 3rd knockdown was all she wrote.
That was a stunning performance for EK Mixups, able to capitalize when he can, able to land the counters, and it was fairly close. They gave that last round to EK Warrior. It was 67 to 65, but the health and the swelling and all the cuts were just going lower and lower for EK Warrior, but he had a heart of a warrior to go out on the shield and try to land some checks of his own, even though he knew he was going to get dazed and not be able to use his footwork in the corner. But good showing so far. They did the EK boys really proud in that contest, and what a main event to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And back and forth, their punch stats in terms of what they landed were only separated by a single punch. Great showing to represent the Elite Kings, and a lot of fantastic showings throughout the card as well. But fantastic scrap there between Sugar Ray Robinson and Bud Crawford.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the waning hours of the night, we have just seen what an excellent card to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed it on Twitch and on YouTube. But Proton, since this is our first time working together, you have the honor to say what was your fight of the night. So, in your opinion, of all the things that you've seen, it could go from the first fight or to the last fight. What fight stood out to you the most?
It's tough to stay. But perhaps I'm gonna have to settle on Addict 85 versus Hey It's Fran. That one really stuck out in my mind. Perhaps it wasn't the most competitive one, but like with the amount of get-ups, really unforgettable fight that happened.
Yeah, it was definitely unforgettable. I mean, those 6 stand-ups from Fran and still having a chance in the waning rounds. I love that pick. It definitely got me hyped up. I had to drink some water after that because I was like, I'm gonna lose my voice and it's only the first egg fight. What do we even do here? But that shows to the potential and the excitement that we have for Undisputed to be on the ESFL along with UFC. Once we get the season going, all bets are off, and you're gonna see more exciting things like this in the future. So be sure to check our socials, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see the archive and just relive all the amazing moments that you've seen so far, and then subscribe to our Twitch and give it a follow and join our Discord if you want to be a part of more fights like this and actually be on the card yourself, so we can commentate it and give you the hype voices that we can only give you here in the ESFL. But Proton, before we get off here, where can people find you?
You can find me as The Pugilist on YouTube, and you'll find the rest of my socials there, which are pretty much just Twitter, or I guess it's called X now. But it's been a fantastic night of fights. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here.
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter or X on King AHTK, all caps. And then also on Twitch, you can find me at King BGR316. But that has been the whole card. Thank you to everyone in the back for making sure we had this amazing card. Shout out to Fat Kid for running production and Crodon for being my partner in crime in the booth. It has been such an amazing day for fights, and we can't wait for the next one. So without further ado, this has been Kingsley. That has been Crodon. This has been the ESFL. We will see you guys at the next fight night. Have a good one, and see you at the next one.